is unless you practice with those sort of different strategies in Ban and Protect, you're not going to feel comfortable using them in a tournament environment like this, and that's why we say you're most likely going to see a normal style. You know how players want to play their game, right? They're not going to change stuff up on the fly unless they've practiced.
And yeah, I mean, I've teamed with LG was my former team in this game.
Obviously.
Saints is a very big advocate of keeping it the standard bans, as we can see. Kinetic, stuns, tacticals. I really don't think there's going to be something crazy thrown.
And that kinetic was actually a ban
that was
by Enable.
Yeah,
So
Faze actually banned that.
I think they're trying to take tools away from Nato. They don't want him to go off. That's very smart on their part.
Definitely smart.
Keeping it easy. Itachi's going to get rid of camo. So you guys kind of nailed the nail on the head there. You're going to see a lot of specialists, already 2 gone in the first 4 bans, and then obviously your flashes and your concussion, something which everyone should be used to by this point. Rapid maybe high cal as well. Oh, the Shiva. Okay.
And this is something that Study and Nameless are actually very comfortable with. Usually you would say maybe Clays are super comfortable because of Biopsy with the foul, but it doesn't shoot as fast. But this is something that Study loves to use.
Study's an absolute beast with the Shiva. It's something he pulls out from time to time. Usually not on Hardpoint because it's a little bit slower, but basically it's quite clear what Faze's strategy is. You're targeting Nato. If you can shut him down in any way possible, taking away his 2-piece potential with the camos, with the kinetic, it's very smart.
And the thing about the Shiva too, real quick, a lot of people say like it's one of the better guns, and it is, but it's not as easy as it seems to use. It's like I said, there's a lot of people that you would think, like Clayster, you would think he would love that gun because of Black Ops 2 and the FAL, but it's not as easy as it looks to use. So a player like Study that's good with it, the ban that was really smart out of Faze.
Fair enough. Now going over to the specialist draft. Obviously, a couple of specialists.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think you're going to see Annihilator, Tempest, and then a Psychosis out of Enable, something that's becoming a little bit more popular. Because the reason is some people are like, I know, like Maven hates it. You know, he's like, what is the point? I think anything that sort of can mess with your visuals, it sort of takes your auto aim away. Just that split second, that's a gunfight that could win and potentially change the game.
Especially at this level,
that you make them hesitate for that split second, gives you the edge, and not only that, the bots shoot in the direction of what the players are coming from. So in a situation where it could be a little bit slower, you have a tight setup and a hard point, you pop those out, you know exactly where the player is closest to you.
And you also get Psychosis a lot.
Exactly.
So that's something for what you said, if you rotate to a hard point early and you have Psychosis, you're not going to be scared to use it. So say you're back Grandma's on Fringe and you pop it and you see that, oh, they're shooting in the tin, they're coming from tin, I'm going to keep my eye on that. That could be a really game-changing play that no one really picks up on. So it's really, it can be really useful.
And I think FaZe won that because I don't know if you guys saw, but Nato Saints actually ended up on Psychosis, using something that he probably won't use offensive.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. He doesn't have that tool in his back pocket. Like, why not give him a weapon? He has such a good shot. So honestly, I think FaZe did what they wanted.
Yeah, fair enough. They walk away with a little bit of an advantage there. Obviously, we saw in the Ban and Protect, they targeted the specialist, like you guys exactly called. It's good to have great analysis, guys. Definitely helps. But I can't even say this, but I don't know if you guys have looked over towards the caster desk. Just do so briefly now.
Oh, beautiful.
Everyone sat at home, please close your eyes, because both Jack and Maven are wearing orange blazers. Guys, over to you.
That was me waving to them because they're right over there yonder. We look ridiculous.
No, ridiculous isn't the word here. This is fantastic. This is fashion. It's Halloween. We're now both traffic cones, as I was reading. People think you look like a pumpkin. Traffic cone. We're going to invent some new ones tonight. It's going to be a fun match.
All of those things are accurate descriptions of our current attire. But hey, it's gonna be a fun one. Yeah. Now we've got Faze going up against Luminosity. Now the crowd was a little bit quiet during that first one. I want a little bit of noise. If you are rooting for Luminosity in this one, let me hear you. That was 8 people. If you are rooting for Faze, make some noise.
That was 9 people. It's one more loud person.
It seems to be a little bit heavy for FaZe here, but to be fair, they're likely the favorite, right, in this matchup. You gotta feel good about FaZe in this one.
But let me kind of rebuttal here and talk.
Okay.
This is
I like rebuttals.
This is FaZe's first match of this weekend. Luminosity, they just wound up playing. They did lose. They went up 1-0. Rest of the series didn't go their way. Wondering how they bounced back here. Our first map, yet again, though, going to be Fringe Hardpoint.
Yeah.
And this is one where we've seen FaZe be very strong on in the past, but TP, Merc, Replays, the guys in the analyst desk, first of all, shout out to them, doing a great job so far. Endless knowledge with those 3. They've been talking about how they've seen FaZe play. TP is going to be watching this one pretty intently. Watching the slang, does it correlate to objective? Does that give FaZe the win they need here?
And this Group C, we kind of talked about being the group of death, right? I mean, think about this. You already had, Luminosity had to go up against Elevate, 5th place ranked team, I believe currently, and now they're going right up against Faze, then also another top 5 team. So this is not easy at all for Luminosity, and you got to think right now after getting beat pretty heavily by in their first matchup. They've got to come out here, but let's see what Faze is able to do off the rip, kicking things off with Enable. Trophy out, nades out, looking for kills here early. And talk to me a little bit about this first hard point, Jack, and what they're trying to do.
So it's going to be obviously submachine guns watching these close kind of flanks to the hard point. That was Zuma just looking in towards bricks. Now he's just playing for cover. The assault rifle so key on keeping the area clear because watch, Study gets in that power position top barn, cuts down Zuma with ease. That's where you need Clayster. Obviously, Enable, watching over their submachine guns, covering them there. Faze out to an early lead, looking solid on this game one.
Looking good so far. We'll stick with Zuma for a bit, just covering Elwell right now, looking to rotate back, as you can see on the minimap. Basically no aggression coming from the backside tracks. Now looking for more on a 2-streak here. Faze out, slaying early, give him one more. Zuma hot here off the rip.
They're doing everything right. They have Zuma inside the hard point. He's staying in here, staying alive, doing what he can for his team finally. It doesn't go his way, but the entire kill feed so far has been Faze. Obviously, we know so much with Luminosity. Saints, one of their main slayers. He's currently sitting at 1-4. We're still watching Faze, though, as they begin the rotation towards Auto.
Yeah, we'll stick with them off the break here just to see if they're able to hop in. It's going to be Enable flying in. RK5 not able to do it. Let's go to the POV here of Luminosity for a bit as you've got Spacely watching back alley, trying to get the second. Unfortunately, all of his shots in the dirt.
Not going to connect with those there. He's going to try to follow this one up, though. Clayster, close range at RK5. So lethal, and now they're spawning out.
Yeah, look how far out he's
This is where
spawning.
it can begin to get scary. Faze, they want to fight for this area. Thankfully, Luminosity have actually gotten 3 players, all 4 actually now spawning up in Grandma's. They're going to do what they can to contest, but with the hill rotating over towards Granny's now, they're more than fine with just saying, guys, let's not feed him streaks. It's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to fall back, play for the full 60. This one could swing this game back. Bring it closer, because right now Faze is completely running away with this.
And Spacely, he is in a key position there to try and hold down tracks, but drops immediately as 3 go to push. It's Enable soaking up the final couple seconds in garbage time, and now he's going to rotate across, try to pick up kills. Now let's see where his spawn comes in. So he's going to spawn out. He's got to wrap back here. Not going to be able to get into the action very quickly at all. Let's see if he can fly in front window. His team's starting to pressure the back. He's going to try to come in through the front, and there's one. You saw the heat wave go off. Cannot pick up both. It's Spacely inside,
Nice
shutting it down. He's got the heat wave to work with now. Let's see him lock it down.
They have specialists to work with. They have the spawns. Luminosity, this is your chance now to bring this game back. Faze are going for a 3-man hit down middle. Spacely's just staying alive inside the hard point. Smoke's now out as well. They're using that as a means of covering that line of sight. Enable through the heat wave. Hits the beat down right there. Nameless though.
You can't die there.
You thought that wasn't going to work out, but in the end, Enable gets a kill. Pressure still coming in as Spacely's going to fight for backload.
Spacely trying to get to the back, not able to pick it up. You got 10 seconds left. Now he's spawning the whole way out back alley. So he's going to have to wrap back across mid-map, try to get set up towards tracks here and get some time. They're trailing by 50, Jack. They've got to turn up, and they need Saints to get going. He's a guy we talk about, like a perennial all-star. He has been a top slayer for years and years and years. They need that to go up against a Faze team who has 4 dominant slayers.
Especially when he's one of their main submachine gun players on this map, right? We know the strengths of Zuma and Attach. He needs to match that slang. Right now, they're doing what they can. Luminosity looking to bring it back. They've got the setup you want, but they can't let Faze get this pinch. They need to get these first couple kills, relieve the pressure from one side so they can consistently spawn up and flood the hard point. Right now, it looks like kills are being traded, but Faze do get the break.
Well, Faze has got the break, so let's go on with them. Enable doesn't care about your psychosis. Picking up the shots. You got 2 more on X-Ray. Pushing in. He's tagged up. He will drop. Let's see where the spawn comes in for him. He's got to rotate the whole way back. We've only got 10 seconds on tracks. This is a pretty good position to set up when we start with the first hard point again.
Yeah, this is completely fine. Faze are going to wind up looking to get that similar setup we saw earlier in the game. You want to have Zuma or Enable inside the hard point. Clayster not working out for him there with the RK5, whipping some shots, but now this is where the flashy plays can happen. Tempest is out. 1 kill already. Now surveying for more. I love the spot he's playing in. He's picking up his flank. He's hitting the hip fire shots. Plays.
Don't do it to him.
Don't do it to him, please.
Almost.
Whips 2 more. Whips the 3rd.
Oh, I have one too, buddy. That was Study, I believe, pulling it out, but he was cleaned up by Zuma almost immediately. Now it's going to be Saints at the hard point. He's going to drop. It'll be Spacely's turn to try. He's going to wrap around the back. He has Heat Wave to work with it as well, Jack. And they're down 40, but Luminosity's still in this one.
They're keeping this one close. It's not as dominant as the performance we saw from Faze in the first couple hills. Study Beautiful three-piece there in your kill feed. We're going to keep on with Spacely, though. Hasn't used this heat wave yet. I want to see him save it for this next hardpoint. Use it as a tool, but to potentially break in. These are some crucial kills now on rotation. Nameless going to lead the charge with the AR. He's got Spacely watching over as well. And LG, they should get this hill on the rotation, and now they're going to look to rack up the score. But there's a Scythe on both sides.
Scythe on Scythe, who's going to be able to win it. The heat wave comes in. That's a big one because it feeds the kills into Nameless. Spacely and Study starting to clean up the rest.
Look at the score.
Look at Study here. This 8 streak has been
25
huge.
off a Cerberus.
He's only 25 off, so this Cerberus would be absolutely huge. And yeah, look at the score. They've got 40 seconds left in this hardpoint, and they are holding it down, but Spacely needs to get this Cerberus. Could be enormous. Just an assist or a kill, and there it is. He's fully streaked out. He's working towards the Tempest, and Study, the difference maker that they need right now, and he's staying alive even through the heat wave.
Study and Nameless have been so impressive as of late for Luminosity. Unfortunately, there a beautiful heat wave actually hits 3 players on Luminosity. They get cleaned out with ease. But look, 3 players of LG now rotating towards Grandma's for these back spawns. They get the kills they need. They're going to be in control of this hard point, and now this is where, if they can hold these first 30, 40 seconds, Clint, they'll take the lead in this game.
I'm sticking with Study here, Jack, because I want to see what he opts to use. If we see some streaks come out, can maybe the Cerberus assist him here? Is he going to clear out some spawns with the Hellstorm and Lightning? But he's setting up in the anchor position. He's looking to lock down these spawns, Jack.
I'm wondering, too, do they have any trophies to bring into play to protect this Cerberus from EMP somehow with the RK5 continuing to stay alive? They're just going to keep getting these back spawns. You'll see in your minimap, LG going to keep flooding in. Study is still spawning up, even with a Faze player pitching in. Now Hellstorm has been brought out. Streak's going to be used. They know how important this time is. Faze had an 80-second lead earlier, and now Luminosity are within 10.
Luminosity fighting back in a big way. Study's got to rotate into the hard point here to try and make plays on X-Ray. He's got some pushing in. Finds the BMP. The shot's off, but the M8's better. Able to pick that up, and there's a second. Turning and burning. The Tempest locked and loaded as well. We got to stick with Study because he has these streaks to use, and he has this power up in the Tempest that might be good to use here on tracks, Jack.
He rotates right back on up as well. Luminosity will take their first lead of the game, and you know, the crowd's getting a little bit quieter now as the Faze fans are realizing that, hey, this one is not going to be easy at all. Clayster at the edge of rails, doing what he can now. Nameless pushing out of top grannies. You know, he's going to be that same guy, watching over those long sight lines, currently sitting at even 25 and 25.
And he was on a bit of a streak there, too. I think 5 or 6, Jack. He was starting to get closer, maybe building on some kill streaks, but not able to do so. Spacely finding a 4th, able to connect with the hit fire, and they're pulling open the lead. 20-point advantage now, trying to bury Faze. This is beautiful stuff from Luminosity.
Well, what they're doing is they're rotating and winning the kills on rotation. I'm sure an analyst is going to talk about that. They've done it on, what, 3 of the last 4 hard points. They've also done a great job using their specialists. You saw Spacely pop that heat wave at Little Room just a little bit ago. Now he's got 2 streaks to work with. Oh man, this is a 90-second swing, Maven, in the last 3 hills.
Well, the big thing really is, can they keep up with the slaying of this Faze side? And so far they can't. Study and Spacely having big games, starting to build toward these streaks. The Tempest gets shut down, burying them all. Nameless can't connect with the final couple shots. But let's actually go back to Study real quick, because I want to see, okay, so he's used everything but the Cerberus, Jack. He does have the Tempest still to use here. Where would you think it'd be most beneficial to drop this Cerberus?
I mean, I don't see why you don't even, you could wind up dropping it here, maybe save it for auto if you want to get a full 60 on the next hill. Right now, Study in this power position behind White Truck. They've got trophies down as well if they need it. Luminosity are running away with this game. They also have Spacely, who still has 2 streaks. And what's working out so well is you have Nameless and Study doing a great job slaying around the hard point, and you have very selfless play from Saints and Spacely getting in the objective, but you just swapped over to Clayster, and he's got full streaks of his own.
Yeah, we'll stick with Clayster through the spawn here and see how he might opt to use these. But what's impressive for me is still just the fact that Luminosity, I expected this game could be close, you would think, but you would think that Faze would have a pretty significant slaying margin because they usually do.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to get that separation. They did. It was, what, the opening couple minutes of gameplay. They were kind of stomping, but the comeback from Luminosity is real, and Clayster's M8 is heating up in a big way, and he's got the streaks.
Oh, it's the Cerberus
the battle bots!
Transformers in Call of Duty, it's here, folks. As now you're going to have robots fighting each other, people fighting each other. The crate drops in.
Where do I even go to? They're all going to get mutilated.
There are kills all over the map. EMP's coming in as well. Luminosity still in control of the objective. Faze now swarming in. It's been contested for 15 straight seconds. 25 points between these two teams, but I think finally, now that the dust has settled, Luminosity are back in control. They've got 20 more seconds to work with here, Maven. They're looking to take full command of this
And
game.
that Cerberus ends up shutting down the Tempest of Study. I thought maybe he was going to pull that out to try and pick up the kills. There's one laying prone. He doesn't spot it. 2 down for Luminosity. The Psychosis is out, and Saints is pushing forward, trying to pick up kills. This next Grandma's Hill is everything.
Yep.
You've got 15 seconds left. The early rotation has already begun. Let's hop to the back with Enable, because he's going to have some key gunfights back here.
Faze know how important this is. I want to see Luminosity begin to use their streaks for this hard point. They know they can win off grannies if they get one break and hold it from here. Faze, everything relies on holding off this first push. Enable already sees multiple enemies pushing in. You've got a Sight, Cerberus, and a third player pushing out of back 10. Kills now being traded.
Well, Study took control of the Cerberus, actually, yeah.
And that was smart. He put it in a better position. Faze still in control of this hard point, and with 50 seconds remaining on grannies, Luminosity have to continue to fight for this.
And Clayster's on yet another streak, and he has the lightning in the dart to work with if he opts to.
Clayster's got the black cell.
What is this? Have we seen that at all in the CWO?
No! Welcome to MLG Anaheim, where we've got Black Cells killing Cerberus on the map. Now more score streaks coming in. Luminosity, they've gotten that break though, Maven, and now Faze have to push this down to the final second.
They could win the game. They could win it here if they get a perfect
Exactly.
hold. Can Luminosity shut it out and take the game? Are they going to be able to pick it up? Dart coming in. We've seen it all. Enable trying to make plays. Spacely trying to get in. Shuts down the site. They're at 240. They'll get to about 245-ish here if they lock down the last couple points. And Faze is in trouble.
This is going to be a tough one for Faze to get the break. Challenges still coming in. Now they're trying to push out the spawns, right? You can't let Luminosity get the pinch. Clayster still alive with the Tempest. Let's go ahead and see what he can get done, but no.
He drops immediately.
He gets cut down. Luminosity pushing in. This could be the final break of the game.
And this is for number 50. Can Study drop the opening 50 bomb here? Trying to fight it. Nades everywhere. Can't get it. It's 49. Faze is holding on somehow. You need 5 points for Luminosity.
I love this.
Where are they going to find
I
him?
love this angle being held by Enable right now. He's going to have a player challenge.
Hello?
He landed on top of you. Faze now back within 20. They can still come back in this game. Attach. Heatwave is going to be everything. 3, 2, 1. Pop and attach. No!
He doesn't pop it. He ends up dropping. They've got to hold on. Enable's tagged up. They're all flying in. Clayster trying to contest. He drops. You still have Zuma here. He has got to contest.
The
They
Heatwave.
can't give up these points. It could be the end of the game. Everyone trying to rotate over. Enable pick it up too. Big ones.
But here it is. Faze are on the rotation. This is not done yet. They're looking for the comeback. Enable now positive 10. Pressure coming in from Grandma's. Can they stop the push? Enable staying alive. Saints flies on in. It's still contested. Off the respawn though. Clayster looking over with the AR. They need to keep flooding. Faze now down by 8. They've got players from the hard point, and they're now within 5. Faze are going to do this.
They might win it. They might win it. 246, 244. 30 seconds up to the clock. Everybody going big. Zuma's got
my
2.
God!
Enable's got more. Shuts it down and Faze wins.
Oh my God! What a comeback from Faze as they bring it back from down 50, and there he is, the hype man himself, Clayster. He knows how important that was. He's won here in the past, and he wants to do it again.
How's that for a game 1?
I have to go change my pants.
Oh, God. That was crazy
I'm
stuff.
sweating.
The crowd on their feet, players on their feet, the hype in the building is real, and that was an unreal finish.
How on earth does that collapse happen? Luminosity. No, they just threw away. They threw away a 53 bomb from Study. Study goes 53 and 39, but at the end, Faze just traded more efficiently from back rails, and what they really did best was rotating towards middle map.
Yeah.
LG put so much into getting the last 3 seconds on rails that Faze got 4 dead, spawned them out. They had their submachine guns in the hard point, and they somehow make that happen.
Oh, that was a wild one. You've heard enough from us. What do you guys on analysis think of that wacky game 1?
Maven, Jack, that game had we had a Cerberus versus Cerberus going on, a comeback. First of all, shout out to the crowd here at Anaheim. I've been saying for so long that the crowd here is unbelievable. They just went nuts, and rightfully so. That comeback replay is like, wow, just wow. Break it down.
I mean, first of all, I'm shaking from how I mean, one thing I can say from not playing is being in that situation is a lot more calming than watching it. I swear on anything. But going into that, I did say right at the end there, we were all talking about it, They did look like they were about to close it out, LG, when that trains hill happens, but that trains hill to middle is so huge, and that's why we are all saying it's not over yet, because that is a map where you've seen that happen a lot, and Faze starts off hot, then you see the classic Faze, they're starting to slow down, and people are starting to be like, uh-oh, what's going on, and then everybody comes alive, Clayster's got the streaks, Dylan or Attach is picking up 2 pieces, that was just amazing.
It was crazy, and I looked at you immediately, and I went, I feel like it's over. Like, you get Clayster screaming, the hype, he's feeding off the crowd. That's what Clayster does, right? When he gets in that zone, it's very, very hard to stop. And immediately, the first thing you guys said, as soon as we saw the shot of the LG guys, is they're arguing.
I mean, you can just tell, like, Saints is shaking his head, like, we should have done this.
Study dropped so many kills.
Dude, Study could have been, like, performance of the year. He was, like, 52 and 37. He was playing amazing. Not much support. I mean, Saints, again, doesn't have the performance you expect from him. Yes.
You guys mentioned that.
So obviously, it's I don't know if LG can bounce back from that. It's so difficult to.
Such solid play from both teams. It did come down to a few things. You have to note that 2 of the grannies went to LG. Study, that's where he started to heat up. He held back that back God spot, as we call it, or back dome, that right side on granny over and over again. Clay kept getting back there, but taken out instantly by Study. Great plays from him. He ended up with like 53, 54 kills. Absolutely insane. And then that last train, I think LG used 3 specialists just to get all the time contested. Going into that middle, they didn't have anything left to use.
Why don't you just try to wrap around, get dome spawn? It just seems like they were spawning alley, which is very tough to break out of, but they didn't like wait for each other.
They had so much time to work with there, and they didn't do that. It felt like it kind of got to them where it's like, oh my God, we're about to choke this. Oh my, like that kind of mentality came in there, and you saw that they started flooding. And all Faze had to do right there was flood the hill, because if they didn't, they'd lose. And that's what Luminosity was doing back. But when you're up that's not what you should be doing in that situation.
One more thing we have to touch on too. We all talked about it. How is Study Serb up for so long? Pulled out EMPs. You saw Clay pulled out the black cell, blew it up, and they ended up losing spawn for granny. I didn't understand that at all. You got to pull out the double EMPs on every single person on the team.
Yeah, and that thing too, the black cell is a good play. Of course, Clay did destroy the Cerberus, but him doing that got him killed in the spawn, and that's why Faze looked a little bit unorganized with the EMPs, and that almost cost them. No Cerberus should ever be up for that long in a professional game.
I feel like that's the key, right? It isn't necessarily that he had to do that. It was, why was it still up so long?
Yeah, he should not have to do that in order to take down a Cerberus. I mean, all players should have EMPs. I saw Enable with him, but maybe he was the only one.
It's just
I don't know.
selfish.
You have to have a class right there, and they got away with it. They got lucky with it, but that cannot happen going into the future tournament.
And again, you see the start, just won the game. Like 35 seconds on the first hill, like that can't happen. You cannot allow that to happen if you're LG. Yeah, they bounced back from it, but by the time the first Grandma's hill was up, they were down 80 to 40 or something of that nature. Like, you just can't let that to happen.
What makes it worse as well is we know that they're coming off a loss against Elevate. Then you have the lead, you have the game literally in the palm of your hand. It was theirs to take, and then all of a sudden the crowd gets behind the opposite team. I mean, you're undefeated here at TP. You know all about the Anaheim crowd. You know how loud it gets. They've been like on your side as well. It's a factor, right? It is.
It completely is. You get the feeling like you can't lose, and then especially for Study, it's got to be heartbreaking, right? One of the best performances we've ever seen in Call of Duty in general, and they weren't able to clutch up and take that win.
He was pieces
I couldn't believe it.
Grandma's Hill with an M8. He was using everything he could do right there. He just needs a little bit of support.
But as you guys can see, overkill right away. We were talking about Attach's sniper, one of might be the best in the world right now. Definitely one of them. And then Kinetic and Flashbang is pretty straight up.
Pretty similar bans you guys have been saying for this series. It should be those straight up bans. Both teams just kind of going for what they're used to.
Yeah, I don't see anything crazy going here yet. You got your tacticals out of the way. You got your overkill out of the way.
If this goes to round 11, we could have a very good series on our hands. But I feel like as much as I want that to be the case, I can't see it happening, because I kind of touched on before, the hype the Faze guys have now. Like, to do a comeback like that is I mean, you know about that kind of comeback, TP. Right. It's very, very good when you have that crowd behind you. The Heatwave ban comes out, rapid fire as well. It's like you're a guru. That's very crazy. But do you see a way maybe for LG to come back into this one?
I mean, yeah. The one thing that could go this way is that Faze now is on a whole nother level of hype right now. They just came back. I've been on the side of Faze, and I've been on the side of LG where I've given a game like that. When you're on that side, you have to make sure that Faze slows their game down. So Luminosity can take this out right here and make sure that maybe Faze is a little aggressive because they just made that crazy comeback and they're all feeling themselves. Maybe they will push up, and that's when LG could actually capitalize on that and take that.
Zuma flanks, huh, Mark?
Yes, and that overdrive, that didn't get banned. It's something that Zuma loves. The faster he can go, the better he's feeling. So there's a bunch of creative ways you can use it on this map.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be very interesting to see. And then you have Clay using Vision Pulse, and then on the other side, Psychosis and Glitch and Camo. Because Heat Wave and Kinetic were banned, so you're going to see a bit of a different variation. Yes.
Another thing too, I think the SVG sniper is still in as well.
Yes.
I would like to one of the players on LG to target that. Yes, the other snipers are still useful, but with the SVG, you're able to get those quick kills on the bridge cross, on the middle tree hops, the middle alleys, things like that, where the PO6, a sniper like that, is not going to be as effective. So you got to watch out. I don't know if they're going to try and counter snipe at all, but doing it against Attach is tough in general.
I feel like you kind of need to, right? Because if you don't, you're giving away so much. Attach has just such free roam to just use it and pick up free kills, first blood.
If you're not going to snipe back, you got to hit them. You got to go.
And one last thing is, if you're Luminosity, one positive is if Study's shooting like that and he is starting to snipe, maybe he can shut this Faze team down. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can keep shooting the way he was.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Faze 1-0 up in the series after a very, very intense Hardpoint comeback. Now they're heading over to Search and Destroy Redwood. We'll throw it over to the wonderful boys in orange. I'm so sorry that they're wearing their orange, but over to Jack and Maven.
Thank you so very much. We match that beautiful ginger head of yours. But yeah, no, that was an insane game one. Yes. I don't know what to expect here from game two, because Faze is a very good search team. Yep. Luminosity has to be absolutely gutted right now.
Yes.
Can you really give them much of a chance here?
Well, here's one thing that goes to them, right? I think they can go ahead, slow the pace down, regain their composure, talk it on out, search and destroy. It's not one where you're going to be having fast flying action, crazy uplink scores, stuff like that. They have one more game to play before we get to that point, which I think will help Luminosity here. This is absolutely still a winnable map. Yes, they went through a tough match, but these guys are veterans. Yeah. And they can more than likely put up a good fight in this game. I'm not saying they're going to take it or tie the series up, but I don't think it's going to be a 6-0 stop.
Who's that guy from Luminosity for you that kind of brings them back to reality, slows them down, gets them back into this? Who is that for you?
I mean, I think you need one of the new introductions to the team, Nameless, to be a big shot caller with the squad.
Because Replays was kind of that guy, but obviously cannot be anymore.
Talk it out. Talk it out. Get the fixes that you need and go into it with a fresh mindset. And that's what I'm looking at here.
All right, well, getting ready to load in here for our second map in this series. Game one, an absolute back and forth. It was like Wild Wild West, man. We had a little bit of everything. Cerberus on Cerberus.
Yes.
Black Cell. 53 kills.
Yes.
Like, that was absolutely breathtaking stuff.
That was ridiculous.
Just waiting now, players getting ready to go before we hop into game two.
And yeah, this one, I'm looking at potentially what we see brought out. Do we see aggressive play towards middle map? Do we see teams play it on out? I think we're going to quickly get a reset to this lobby. How to get some name switches on in.
Yeah.
Because we were so brought back by what we just saw in that map one that you and I kind of lost composure there for a second.
Oh, I definitely did. I was out of my mind, man. Scott on Twitter immediately, like, what was that comeback? Phenomenal stuff. But all right, so what does Luminosity got to do here to have a chance in Search? Because I think this is as lopsided a game mode they're going to have in this matchup. I think it might be the Search.
Yes.
What can they do to combat Faze?
So one big thing that we always talk about is it wasn't like they were being outshot in map one. They were right there with the slang throughout the entire map. Going into this, I just think they need to play better as a team. At times, you see players try to go for these crazy heroic plays where they push out by themselves or they go for a risky flank and it doesn't work out. I don't want to see that from LG up the start. I want to see, if they wind up starting on the defensive side, set up on a site, have communication, execute your plan. Don't go off. Don't have a player that just goes, I'm going to go for the low wall run flank around the backside of the map and try to catch them off guard. No, just play straight up, play the way you need to play the way you know to play. Don't change anything up.
All right, we should be ready to go here shortly. Thank you guys for your patience. We'll kick things off, make sure lobby's good to go, get the side set for everybody. And this should be a doozy, man. If this game two is anything like our game one, like what do you even compare that to? It'd be like a 5-1 comeback or something like that.
We had a map that was similar, Stronghold Hardpoint in the CWL, where you wound up seeing Rise and then come back against Faze and win like 250 to 249, which was one of the crazier Hardpoints. What made this one so special is Luminosity had a lot of tools to work with to close out that game. They had a heat wave. They had a couple streaks. They had the kills going in their favor. They were on rotation. FaZe got the one pinch they needed, and it all really wound up working out, which was just absolutely nuts. We are quickly getting back into the game. They're going through their normal creative class stuff, so we can get into this one. But Clayster, someone I do really quickly want to talk about, Maven. And this guy, what he's done in his Call of Duty career continues to impress me. But in that first game, what scares me more if I'm Luminosity is that you just saw the Clayster that rose up in the Call of Duty scene, the one known for his energy. He did his whole dance after it was done, standing up on stage, getting his team hyped. You know he's going to carry that, not only through this series, but they're going to use that as fuel for the rest of this event.
And that, God, I mean, is he fantastic for this team in the online league? Sure. He's been amazing throughout Stage 1 and Stage 2. He's a phenomenal player. But yeah, that energy, I know there are some people, we talked to Nate Shop, the Stage 1 finals, like, oh, I don't believe in the whole hype and energy helps. It does for some people. Does it for everyone? Does it for him? No. But for Clayster, when he's getting into it emotionally like that, man, he is going to be very, very scary.
Well,
he's had some phenomenal search gameplay. We had that 10 streak in a Game 5 recently. You expect him to go off here.
I watch all these teams scrim, and one thing that has plagued FaZe and scrims at times is the guys aren't as into it as they need to be, right? They're not talking as much as they normally would. The pressure's not on, and they actually get frustrated at themselves because of it. You know when you see these guys, when you see the FaZe players standing up, screaming, you've got Clayster that into it, there is no doubt in my mind that they are giving 120% on the main stage like you'd expect in front of this huge crowd at MLG Anaheim.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate a little bit. When you have that great game one, you come back, all that energy's there. We've seen at times it'll hurt you in the search because you come in, you play so fast.
Yeah.
I don't want to say your timings are off, but you start to have some struggles. Like you try to play like you were in that hardpoint, fly. That can work.
You think you're untouchable. That's kind of the mindset you have, right? You think we're going to go into this, and now we're going to use this to just stomp them round one, and that's why, as Luminosity, I think you kind of bait that out of them, right? It's what the boys talked about with the Cole series earlier with them versus Envy. You bait that out. Let them make the first mistake and act off of it. Don't do anything that would be super risky because last thing you need if you're LG is to do like, all right, let's 4-man hit middle. Let's try something crazy. And then FaZe just stomp it, and now you come off a huge loss in that hard point. You get 4-0 swept in round one of the S&D, and now people are starting to argue with each other.
Yeah.
People start to go on tilt. It's not a fun time at all, but I do believe we are loading into this search and destroy. We appreciate the patience here. It's FaZe Clan going up against Luminosity, and oof, look at that trophy.
She's a beauty. It's going to be
like
game 2. We're on Redwood. Well, thank you, Jack. Is it the jacket? It brings out my eyes?
It is.
Yeah. But Zuma's a big piece of this for me because 1, he has overdrive. 2, just the way he plays. He either has games where he is getting first blood, every single round, or he's getting first blooded. It'll change up in a big way.
So FaZe do have trophies on, so I'm expecting a B push. Study is sniping on the side of Luminosity. I want to quickly hop on through and
ooh, by the hair of his chinny chin. He will narrowly escape the shot coming through. Not that time. He has the sniper. What are you doing?
attach now in a 1v3 just like that. It all really collapsed quick. And we'll see what he can get done for his team. Slowly rotating over, trying to spot out where enemies can be. You know, he's kind of got an idea of where they've got to be positioned at. He knew one was near mid. He'll go ahead and rotate towards this top area as FaZe are in a tough spot in this round one.
Okay, so he got some information. He knows one is pushed through. Does he realize there are two players? And when you look at the mini-map.
Study.
There they come through. All right, there's one. Is Study lining him up? Yep, there it is. I heard you.
I was seeing it on my side. Study was waiting for him. He was so patient. That was actually a setup play from Luminosity, basically baiting out Attach to go for the shots. You see, as he's crossing over to shoot at Nameless, Study's there with the sniper, ready to cut him down. No fast hands on that class. Electing to put cold-blooded on. One thing that could definitely throw off a sniper, you know, on the map like Redwood with so much foliage around, with trees that you're flying through, might be a little bit tough to see an enemy through that area. But as you just saw really quickly as you were swapping on through, FaZe now looking to answer back with an SVG of their own.
Study versus Attach. This should be a good one. I'm keeping Attach highlighted on the top left so we can see their positioning. Attach, I think, might have an angle. There's a player right below him, but he's got the RK5. That'll get it done. Now swap to the snipe. He's going to find more on bridge. Oh, he saw him for a second. You better stay behind that rock. Attach, ready to go off, but it is a 3v2. They've got control. Two are in water. Attach backing down for now. Let's see what Study's POV looks like with the sniper. So he knows where Attach is.
Yes.
He's got, just doesn't have the line of sight, but he knows where he is. Can kind of keep him at bay for now.
Yeah, and you're going to see Luminosity just passively playing this one, once again, looking to let their opponents make the first mistake. But the bigger thing of all this, Maven, is look how terrible the spot the bomb is down at right now. Middle map. Study snaps right onto attach. Now the 1v2, he has picked up a VMP.
You saw him. You see him.
On the
He's
site.
on your screen. Push him. They're going. It's it's Clayster. Of course, it's Clayster.
Study the 1v1.
Woo! Tries to hit it. Just misses. Not gonna do it.
Oh my God! I think I pulled a muscle for that one.
That was one of the ugliest gunfights
Oh yeah.
I've ever seen, and just watching Clay go up. I gotta look over. Is he just laughing? Can we get a shot of Clay?
That was absolutely hysterical. Clay trying to finish off the kill. It was very awkward. Unfortunately, doesn't work out there. So the rounds will be tied up at 1-1. And one quick thing with this new Luminosity setup they have with Study sniping is you can see, one, he's very accurate with it. Don't get me wrong, but Study was not actually doing this a couple weeks ago. I wound up playing some matches with him. He began to bring it out. I think his team realized, okay, Study still continues to hit shots. Hit marker right there, or maybe took some fall damage. Quite unsure of how that one wound up working out, as Faze are going to rotate this bomb and should potentially get it down with a multiple man flank coming from LG. And oh, this is not pretty.
Going over the top, looking for more, but bomb has been planted. Now, the big thing, look at the minimap. There's going to be a couple players that are going to be coming on the flank, so it should be Attach, I think, that is going to engage first as they're coming from the rear. He saw one get into water, so got a bit of information there. Should have a free kill as soon as he pops out. No, he doesn't get the first shot and has to back down, has the RK5, but will drop. 3 versus 2 now for Faze. It's turned into a 2v2 quickly as Nameless can clutch up, and now it's on Enable. And Clayster just have to defend the bomb. Not a lot of time. 1v1. It's Study and Clay. Will we get a prettier gunfight here? He spotted him. Dips to the side. Just has to play his life. It's going to force Study a challenge. He doesn't have enough time. He has to. He's at the corner. Can he get to it in time? No.
So that was a beautifully timed push from Clay. You knew his teammates were calling out. All he had to do was check it last second, right? He saw Study on those B steps. Study either had to do a crazy push to get to him as fast as possible and get back to the bomb, or hope that he could hold that angle and Clay moves. If Clay moves there a second and a half earlier than that, he winds up winning that round. Instead, though, nice timing by Faze to go up to
I think Study played it okay, though. I mean, he thought that Clay was going to think maybe he got on the bomb, was going to check it. He plays it slow. His only other option there would have been just, fly. Try to hit the snipe across the corner.
So far, it's been the battle of first blood in this match. Faze, they get the bomb planted so quickly there, and with Luminosity going on that crazy flank, you can see how long it took them to get back to the site. And by the end of it, they just didn't have enough time to react. Now, though, we're still watching Study 6-1 at the moment. He's got a specialist ready to go, as well as a grenade, as LG will strike first blood in this round 4.
Well, they're starting to push forward. I wanted to stick with Study just because there is a player in the corner. The question is, well, now he gets peeked, gets challenged, but they have 4v2 advantage right now. Nable came through on the flank and picked up 1, so he's going to make things at least a little more even here. Attach being challenged by the bomb. Does he peek the right corner? Does he realize he's there? Able to get it. Now it's a 2v2. They're trying to clutch up here in the 2v4. Enable trying to sync up. You've got one coming from behind. Spacely, I think, just spotted him, trying to get there. The ledger's a little bit awkward. Now he gave away his position.
That's why Psychosis is so
What is this?
players. He overdrives out. And that's going to do it, though.
Study gets both.
I think he wound up sniping and then beating someone else down.
Oh, God, we're going to see it here.
We were so brought by
what
this
does he
overdrive.
do?
And, that's a setup play right there by Luminosity. You plant it on that back side of the site, and you can see the bomb all the way from where Study was in middle cuts. He jumps through the tree line, hits the snipe, gets the quick beat down.
Now we know where the player went that Spacely tried to challenge.
Yes.
Because he got erased there by that snipe.
Study's 8-1, and we're just and it's 2-2
Well,
in this
how
game.
close? Let's go back. How close is he to? So he's 200 up his dart. Do you want to stick with him for a little bit here on defense? I mean, he's been going off, man.
Well, I mean, he's not going to see any action per se in the next few seconds.
That's true. It's probably going to be Nameless. Honestly, it's going to have the most to deal with. You can see it on the X-ray lining up. Who's going underneath? It's going to be Attach coming around the back. Is Attach able to cut him off? No, does not get there in time, but they do back him off the site. That's a really good job by Nameless staying alive, though.
That Study getting taken down off his streak. Number advantage to Faze yet again. They're going to do what they've done throughout this game. The second they have an opportunity, get the bomb planted and put the timer onto Luminosity to make a move.
Well, so far, so good. Watching Attach for now, but you have Enable also playing with cover here on the bomb site. He may be the first to engage. You have one all the way in the back that's Clayster kind of watching the flank.
This round's done.
They don't have to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, this is a 2v4. You have one wrapping underneath. That's Spacely. He's probably going to get spotted out. He does get caught. Now it's Saints charge again. Not able to do it. And Faze starting to build some momentum, Jack.
They played that perfectly, right? You wind up having Attach at that low wall run. He gets control of the site. Study, who's been so confident in peeking with the sniper, gets caught peeking right out of the bottom building. Attach makes him pay for it there, and they wind up cleaning out the round.
It's so difficult when they get the plant that quickly on A because they didn't even have time to develop any kind of pinch, right? No. They all had to push from the same side, and whenever that happens, you know how easy it is to hold on when you're dealing with really one push.
And because FaZe got that early number advantage in the round, they kept 3 players on site, and 1 player was all the way in the back side of the map watching their flank. I don't think LG had any way of swinging that round back in their favor, as it does look like we're seeing a little bit of a different offensive push this time out of Luminosity.
Well, they're getting pretty aggressive at this corner. You can see on X-Ray, there are 3 players trying to back them up. Attach is going to get the first blood, so Study knows that they're playing aggressive towards that corner rock. How do you play this now when you're down a man on offense, Jack?
I mean, you just need to begin to rotate, and I think that's what exactly we're going to see from Luminosity here, as they know there's a lot of pressure coming in from that B site. Study going to try to get crafty with this peek. Don't think he's going to wind up spotting anybody, as the best case scenario here is you get the bomb planted, and you wind up getting a first blood in this scenario, make it a 3-on-3, and hope you can win 3 one-on-one engagements.
Where's the best spot for Study to play here? In a position where you have a sniper, you're down a man, you're going to get the plant. Do you like him going back and be the person that deals with the flank? Because he's going to have to have RK5 out. He's not going to be able to do anything with the sniper really from this angle.
Look at how FaZe are playing this. This is going to wind up being a perfect counter to the setup that Luminosity currently have. They're going to begin to push on an active camo now. Pop Saints putting shots in. Clayster trades it out. It's now 2v4. You've got Study alive with the sniper, 1v4, and unless he makes the best play of his entire career, it's not going to happen.
That's it.
And Clayster's fallen off twice.
What was he doing there that he fell off?
Honestly, I think I just inspire him with my gameplay. He tries to transfer it into FaZe, and their challenges.
Trying to set records.
Flies right off there as FaZe take a 2-round lead in this game, too. They're continuing to look solid, and I love the way they retook that
I think we're going to see it.
Yeah, we will. We will definitely see it.
So he gets the final kill, and so he needed to get the angle. Maybe he thought he could make it across, but no, that's it.
That's the ground.
It's all right. Closes out the round. That one, throwing his life to the wind to pick it up. He wasn't working on streaks or anything. Not a big deal. Zuma, I think, has his overdrive. Let's see if he's going to use that here on offense to try and put this away. It looks like he's going to save it maybe for a defensive round.
I was going to say, this map, I'd love to see it on defense. With him swapping to the AR as well, it sold me even more that he wasn't going to use it. As FaZe, again, they're working together as a team. Those trophies being thrown out should have been spotted on the side of Luminosity. They know the pressure's coming in, and now FaZe putting a lot into this push.
Zuma spots one.
Oh, gosh.
And the combination of that shot in the HC. Oh, what did Study just do to your friend? Let's get back to Study, because he's going to be holding the angle. Don't peek this.
This is one of the toughest angles to pick a sniper off of on this map, because he can just continue to play behind this yellow barrel, play his life out. Look, FaZe are dumbfounded on what to do. FaZe have no idea what to do. You know what they're waiting for? They're waiting for, look at your mini-map right now. Look at that one green arrow.
Gonna be coming. I'll keep him highlighted. So Clayster pushing around the flank. The timing could be huge. Let's go to Clayster's POV, because he's coming up behind a couple now. Should be able to line up Study. Waiting for it. Wants the perfect shot. Just taking his time, and there it is. Able to pick it up. And now you turn this into a 3 versus 3. Attach should be behind one. Yep, Attach is able to pick one up. Things getting shut down.
Saints was sitting inside bunker, right outside bunker, and didn't hear the players rotating. Zuma flew across middle map and planted that bomb. And now it's FaZe in a 3v2. Now a 2v2 after Nameless wins that engagement.
Behind you, Attach. Behind you.
Behind them, no! Down to a 1v2.
Down to 1v2, make it a 1v1. Zuma trying to clutch up, and this is where he decides to pop the overdrive. I'm out of here! See you later, buddy. Sprints out, gets around the edge. He's still being chased. Is this? It's overdrive on overdrive!
They're Olympic sprinters! He's trying to chase him down.
You thought you got away, but I'm here, buddy! And he's got time for the defuse. What the hell was that?
What is this series right now? Zuma pops overdrive.
What's funny is I see Zuma pop it, and I'm like, oh, he's out of here. And you see on the minimap, he's keeping up with them. I'm like, how's he keeping up?
I swapped to Spacely on my screen. I'm like, man, Spacely sure is fast. He is a fast character.
Unreal stuff. Just beautifully played. That's not a way you usually see overdrive used.
That was my next point, is typically you don't see overdrive used in that scenario. Zuma knew he was in the 1v1, and all he had to do was play the time for his life, tried to get out with his life. Spacely goes, I can't let him get away. I can't let him hide, get back into the abyss and hide from me. Chases down the kill, and now LG are back within 1 round. If you're new to competitive Call of Duty, you're seeing some insane scenarios.
Yeah, that's some pro play, man. That was insane to see. Saints 1-7. They need him. He's not having a real great series so far. They need him to go big, trying to pick up kills. 2 are already down. They got aggressive. Saints is mid-map. Study's got the sniper. Saints might be lining one up at window, but that's Attach. Or there's somebody holding the angle there. It's going to make it so tricky. Look where Bomb is, too.
We talk so much about teams adapting mid-game. And right now, LG, in my opinion, are not adapting to how FaZe play on defense. FaZe are 4-stacking sites, and every engagement that LG are getting in are like where they have 2 people, they think, oh, we're going to have a number advantage. No, they're facing 2v3, 2v4 battles, and every time FaZe is trading more efficiently.
And look at this flank coming in.
Look at how FaZe are still playing this round.
It's a good thing Study got out of that HC because he's about to get hit by the FaZe squadron. They're coming around the back. He's taking a dip. This is actually, unbeknownst to him, might be his wisest play. He tries to pop up. Sorry, man. The whole team is here. He's down. Saints, though, should have a lot of information to work with. Does he realize everybody's there? The call should have come in. How many did Study actually see is the question. One flies by. This could work out brilliantly. He saw another. He turns up close and personal with the RK5. Gets it. 1v1. Trying to clutch. Can't get around the corner. And Clayster closing it out.
It shouldn't have been that close, but once again, FaZe, they're basically on top of each other this whole time. Somehow, oh my God, Clay didn't finish off the kill there, but I will say, FaZe have impressed me so far with how they played this game. If Study wasn't hitting the sniper shots he was hitting so far, I think they not only would have won this game already, but it would have been like 6-1.
All right, well, here we go, Jack. This might be the closeout round for FaZe on offense.
And they have Vision Pulse. Oh, gosh.
Let's get, you almost have Psychosis up. You do have Vision Pulse. Yeah, let's stick with Clayster because you might see that used here. Probably more of a post-plant thing if they can get control early. I believe it's Zuma has an HC out, so he's looking for information. There is one you saw with Water, of course. You switch off of Clay, then he picks up the kill. But we're going hunting, starting to push. Is this player tagged up? Because the HC might be able to finish him if he took a couple shots. Chasing him. You'll find him eventually. Buddy, I swear, now there's 2. Hello, friends. We're coming in. Which one do you pick? He decides to go hide. Nope, he decides drive straight. There it is, finally. The HC gets the kill.
Now it's all down to Spacey,
That's
gonna do it. Give it up for FaZe as they go up 2-0 in their first match of the MLG Anaheim Open. And here's Clayster closing it on out. Clay ends that game 10-6. He was quiet at the start, fell off a couple times, but I think through the last 3 rounds goes an overall 6-1. Great end from him in that game, too.
Well, we talked about that right before the game started. Like, Clay has had some monster performances in Search lately. He's just been very consistently dropping double digits. Not shocked to see him do it again.
And what did I say? Once Study's sniper presence was gone, once they stopped getting those first bloods on the side of LG, it all fell apart, and it was because of FaZe's defense on that map. Absolutely loved how they played it. They quad-stacked sites, and even when Luminosity took A on their own, FaZe retook it back over with the 4 of them. Solid stuff from the boys.
They did, yeah. You saw them playing very aggressive towards that B side. It was working out from a lot of first bloods there as you're trying to come across bridge, trying to get set up. Study couldn't really get comfortable with the sniper after those first couple of rounds, right? Not on offense, at least. It was very, very difficult for him. But how do you feel about this series now with FaZe having the 2-0 edge?
I think we see a 3-0 again here on the main stage, to be quite honest with you.
Feeling the 3-0?
Yeah, I'm feeling the 3-0.
That is definitely how it's looking, but to break this one down, I know you heard a lot of action from us, but guys, what do you think about the overdrive on overdrive?
I mean, before we even get to that, we have to give Study some love with the sniping. You guys kind of said Study with a sniper rifle, how dominant he is, but he needs a little bit more support. Saint starting off, he goes 1-7 to start that off before he finally picks up some kills. I mean, replays, talk to me.
I mean, those 2 kills that he got, they're important, but they didn't clutch the round, so realistically, it's, So, I mean, you're going to need more out of him. We talked about him. He is the key player matchup. If Luminosity wants to make this comeback and make something happen in the series, they're going to need more out of Saints, because if he does not step it up right here, the Zuma and the Tatch are going to keep taking control of the series.
Yeah, and just FaZe is playing so well together. They're making so many smart team decisions. Like, their trading is just constant. They're never, like, even in the 1v3, the 2 of them died, but they still won the round. And you can tell, if you just watch that mini-map, like, they decided in that 3v2, all right, let's just wrap this whole map. I mean, I think Study was in an HC, so they knew they were gaining on them. So they're just playing so well together right now.
Completely agree with you. They're doing such a good job on that S&D of spreading out, working the map, trying to work that pick. I think it was a 2v3 situation. They ended up getting into bunker, getting those 2 kills, getting those numbers back into their favor, and then multiple rounds as well. There's a 2-2 split on their A retake. They were like, no, let's all group up and take from their side of their spawn. Got the first gunfight on the bomb site, and then all just took over there. There's too many people to shoot at.
That FaZe player that stayed alive, I looked at you, I was like, how is he still alive? And then immediately the support came in, and that just kind of benefited that 4 flood.
And that's why you do the 4 flood right there, because even if that FaZe player, I think it was probably Zuma with, no, it wasn't Zuma with camo, someone with camo, I don't know who it was, even if that guy goes down, you got 3 people there to trade the kill, and then Study's left in a 1v3 on top of the tree with the sniper. What is he going to do? Unless he gets a collateral or something crazy, it's not happening. And that's why you saw what a lot of FaZe did, what you just said, is they had so much teamwork. They were traveling the map together. When Study was in that HC, He gets out of that HC, he's in the water, and he's floating in the water, and he looks behind him, and 3 Faze members are popping out.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, yeah, surprise, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. If you play search and destroy like that when you have numbers, you can't lose unless the other team makes a good play and gets the 2-piece, and that's what Faze was doing so well on capitalizing with.
And this is what you want to see from
Yes.
Faze, because we've talked like early on in tournaments, they don't show up. Like they drop early games, and so far they're playing perfect Call of Duty right now. There's just so much teamwork. You can tell the communication is on.
Yeah, pretty wacky game there too with the some of those overdrives. Are really
Yeah,
weird.
that 1v1 overdrive.
Yeah, usually you see that traditional mid push or some sort of execute to get a early first blood, but they used them in clutch situations instead of just sort of running around in circles. It was funny.
Spacey pop overdrive when he ran to check the
Yeah,
bomb,
that
and it was like,
In
okay.
my opinion, that was a waste.
That
Yeah,
was a little interesting. And then obviously that 1v1 with overdrive, which was ultimately he managed to win. So it gets a little bit of redemption.
And one more positive thing, Clay only fell off the map twice that time. Nice job, buddy.
Yeah.
He's getting better.
to defend
Speaking
Clay,
of that overdrive,
Oh,
like overclock was in something we didn't really touch on, and players were being really greedy with that overdrive or with that overclock. They were able to get overdrive so often.
Yeah.
Speaking of overdrive, first thing to
there it
go
goes.
is
Goodbye.
going to be overdrive from Evac Uplink. Of course, your flashbangs, your concussions. It's kind of become second nature at this point to see those go through our banner protect. Active camo is going to go. Is it going to be more specialist, do you think?
Maybe rapid fire right now or high caliber.
Rapid fire? Yo, some say you have been correct. We've made these clear. Are you Yoda in disguise? We'll have to wait and see.
No, yeah, I think if you're Faze, you're trying to limit mimic ways that Luminosity can score. Like
goes my
ways. Wow.
Good job.
You're a Jedi. No, but you're trying to eliminate mimic ways that Luminosity can score, like the overdrive, the active camo. That allows them to just sort of get the ball and just run away.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's an afterburner right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I could be wrong or a blast suppressor, but it wouldn't surprise me just because, like I said,
With
you want
overclock,
to
I'd
limit
like to
that.
see heat wave.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
want
we
to
got.
limit that.
Yeah.
There's rapid fire. Let's see.
Completely
It's on
agree.
enable. I'm saying afterburner. I don't know.
Afterburner, we have a heat
I
wave
wouldn't be
and
For his
surprised
own
just because-
teammate.
For his own teammate. I mean, maybe they don't like playing with afterburner. I'm not sure, but oh, there goes the Shiva. All right, well, that's true too. With Study being good with the Shiva.
Right.
Good man.
just targeting him once again. We did talk a little bit, of course, about Saints. Game one, he was left with Psychosis, something which you guys kind of looked at and was like, he doesn't use Psychosis.
Nah.
You're not used to it, not used to a specialist. You're going to use it in correct times. And that kind of, we saw at the end of the Hardpoint. Game two wasn't really existing. 1-7 start, not the best.
Yeah.
Game three, this is where Study needs to just kind of look at his teammates and be like, hey, help me. Like, help me.
He needs someone else to come alive right here. He really does, because like I said, he's been playing lights out this entire series. If he is playing like this is the series that they would be taking if you're thinking of that. And that's why, like we were talking about it before, we really need to see Saints.
Very similar to the previous series, too. We saw Gunjar start to heat up. And when you get those performances, like, you have to execute. Those are the games where you can't get those games all the time, like, especially versus all these top players. So
Yeah, and if you're LG, you're happy. Saints has his kinetic. Basically has a heat wave. The playmakers, the aggressive ones, have the specialists that they're used to. So this is the game that they need to win.
Obviously, if they don't, they go 3-0 and they're 0-2 in group. And think about that. Back is against the wall. They've already lost once against Elvic. Now this is a really, really crucial game for them. They do not want to be going 0-2 in groups. It really puts yourself in a horrible, horrible position going into Saturday. I mean, you guys know more than anyone.
And if you go down 0-3, I mean, the map count is a thing. Tiebreakers is a thing. So winning maps is still important in pool play.
Very, very important. And then don't forget, of course, there's open bracket teams going in. Open bracket still going on. Heard a lot of loud noise from coming over there as well. So it's getting pretty hyped, that's for sure. But in terms of this game three, is it likely we see Faze close this one out, replays, or do we maybe see LG start that comeback?
See, now, when I watch Faze play as a team, my least favorite game mode would probably be watching their uplink. It's not that they're bad at uplink. I mean, I just feel like sometimes it can get iffy, especially on this map with Afterburner being allowed. It does take that one set of kills for either team here to get that spawn trap. So it's really all going to play out of how this first side goes. If whoever has the good side here, if they really do capitalize and get a good side here, I think that's the team that will be shutting this out. Of course, obviously, that sounds pretty simple, but that's really what's going to happen. I think Faze is going to need to play together and make sure they make a lot of good executions with the ball. When you pick up that ball, you have to make sure you don't make the wrong play with it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I believe the game is getting underway. So back over to the boys in orange. It's Maven and Courage.
Remarkable analysis, boys. Just breaking it down to a T. And this map in particular, you heard them talk about, well, Replay's kind of talking about holding the drone. I think possession is more key on this particular map than any other map by a landslide, especially when you're playing from the weak side. You need to have the drone in your hands for like 80% of it, or you're not winning that side.
How many times we see where the team that's spawning from that less preferred side just picks up the drone, runs it back to their spawn, tries to make something happen. It's all about maneuvering, getting yourself into an advantageous position, getting that first kill, and then acting on it right away. Evac Uplink, this could be the final map in the series. I have a feeling that's the way it's going to go so far from what I've seen from Faze.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way too, but for the side of Luminosity, you know, you've had 2 tough losses. I feel like Saints has to have a big game here. They need him, especially on a slay-heavy game mode like Uplink. He has to have an all-star performance here for the Luminosity side to take the W, but here we go. It's game 3. And you know what? We're going to start off a little treat for you guys. We're going to kick things off with Faze, and let's toss it to an Astro listening.
Bottom bar. Studies on the bottom bar. Yeah, go there. Studies out of play. You need 2 guys. There's 2 guys. Studies out of play.
Oh, Dylan, he's top glass. Dylan, top glass. He's jumping to our side, top glass.
Get it in.
Stay alive, Bill. Middle map. On ball.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and wrap.
He's hers.
They're gonna wrap.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they will.
I'll play the wrap off spawn. I'll play the wrap off spawn.
Go back for it. Go back for it. I'm pushing up the glass.
1Z.
Yo, one's on ball play, I think. Oh, no, that was you. Never mind.
Yo, he's up top, came down low.
One mid doors.
It's gonna be a done.
Yo, pillar.
Hey, just play guys.
Get behind that guy. There's Nameless.
No, he spawn trapped me. Nameless.
I got him.
We get the guy at our base.
No, there's another one water. 2 in our base. Another one in our base, I'm pretty sure. Study and Saints last 2.
Yeah, in red. Saints is in red.
You might push it straight up for the 1.
Saints is in red.
They wrap.
Yeah, yo, Saints is still in red. I got Saints. Where's ball going?
What's top glass?
I want middle.
All run in one side.
I got
All
one.
run, already low. No, he ran back.
I got one.
He's just juking.
You gotta
I'm
find
going
him,
ledge.
man.
I'm going ledge.
Go down after him if you have to.
I'm mid map.
I'm holding glass.
Nice.
Ball
Is it off? All right.
Holding glass.
Yo,
One
I'm
top
pushing him,
glass. They're top laundry. One shot.
Hold up.
Yo, jump
I'm
right.
going
One top glass. One
Where's
top
it?
laundry. One top. There's one top glass. One shot 2.
You push through.
They're gonna be behind you, Ian.
Go, let's
Study,
I got ball.
Alright, go.
This is it. This
Oh,
is
he's there front pillar.
This is spawn trap.
Studies front pillar.
We got the control.
One's on their point. Study was front pillar.
He jumped on me, top glass. He's one shot, top glass, drop water. Dropped into water.
Okay, just
One shot on ball. Another one on ball to your right.
2 more.
2 more on ball.
They're gonna grab it. I'm pretty sure.
No. Yo, water.
Here's a mana on water.
We're fine.
I think they're
They wrapped it?
They're wrapping, yeah.
One shot
That's not bad.
in
Bring
glass.
it back,
In glass.
bring
They're
it
coming
back.
back.
I got one. Yeah, Outer cage is outer. Nice. 2. They might.
I'll go back.
Does somebody go back for him?
I'm pushing up.
That's up to you, Dylan. That's only you. Just go down after him if you have to. I'm top glass.
Yeah, I'm bottom.
Throw it.
Go for ball. I got go for ball. I stay close.
Nobody's there.
I got two.
Let's get Saints.
Court. He was court. He was by front red. I'm going all the way around red.
One's top base here now. I got one.
Where's Saints
Yo,
in our base?
another one right back. Nameless is
No,
the
he's
mid
at
door.
our tree. Saints at our tree.
Alright, Nameless is
one shot.
Nameless is gonna be in front of you guys.
One's on ball. Don't let him wrap it. Remember, somebody always in ball pit.
I don't see him on ball.
I'm
One's
gonna go
flanking.
through
I got steady flanking.
I'm on the column.
Let's shoot
Let's
that,
go,
guys.
let's
Let's
go.
over 8 to space.
Top right glass. He's shooting me water.
Saints to space. Let's do, guys.
He's
The
dead.
kills. That's
Dead.
space. Saints, let's
I
get
ball.
RT.
Yo, he's gonna kill me. Yo, it's bottom laundry. I think it's bottom laundry. I mean, Pete.
Study's dead.
Yo,
Go on bench.
bottom laundry. You gotta push that guy bottom laundry.
Yo, one's back here.
Play one.
He's at bench.
Play one.
Yeah, hit one.
They're gonna wrap.
This has been held scoreless here. They cannot get anything going. I mean, I thought their team comps were pretty good, but it's not turning into points, that's for sure.
This has been a best case scenario right now from Luminosity. They're playing from the less preferred side. You mentioned how they need to control the drone for the majority of the game.
Absolutely have.
80 to 90% of the time they've had the drone there. They do miss a 1, but either way, if they can go to the half, I mean, 1 with this lead, or even keep it close around even, they're going to be all smiles. So far, Clayster has really been the missing piece on the side of Faze. 3 and 10 right now. You just need more.
Yeah, especially from this side. You think you can get in some power positions and really start to rally, but not been able to get set up whatsoever, and that's been props to Luminosity. They've been dragging them all across the map, really just trying to chase the drone. They feel like FaZe has been basically trying to hunt down the drone this entire time, and finally now you get 1 point on the board, but when you look at it, you see Zuma now the only guy up. So let's focus a little bit on the Luminosity side of things.
Well, Saints, the one furthest pushed up for his team. He's just going to try to stay alive and
wrap it back. This
go
is
ahead,
beautiful.
grab the drone. His teammates are going to spawn right up on top of him there. You see it in your mini-map. And now, again, they're going to try to juke out FaZe. It's worked once so far this game. They're going to look to continue it again now. They've gotten into top bar. 2 kills now in favor of LG. Not going to get the third, but this should still be an easy one. 4-1, back up by 2 possessions.
Complete and utter dominance here. I know you're only up by 3, so the scoreline isn't as outlandish as it may sound, but
I don't know about complete and utter dominance, but it's just been a
Whoa,
good
no, when you talk
performance.
about the possession game, like, I consider it domination for the pure fact that, like, Faze has been playing chase and hasn't been touching the drone at all.
And it's because Faze haven't had control of glass once this half. The one time they did, you heard it in the listen-in, Clayster was saying, this is it, this is it, this is where we spawn trap them, and they wound up getting 4 dead instantly. Luminosity, because they have control of glass, are grabbing the drone, getting away, and how has this even happened? Okay, after all that,
he deserved it, man. Faze misplayed that. I don't know how he even snuck through, but he ends up missing the shot, and we're going to go into half. 4-1, Luminosity.
That's 2 missed ones on the side of LG. It's just one thing to keep in mind. If Faze turn this half around, they get some scores in. Technically, you could basically say if LG hit those 2 one-point plays, they're up in this game right now 6-1. Instead, still remaining at 4-1, a 2-possession lead. Either way, great half, and wow, that is a big Clayster face in the front row.
Clayster is a one handsome fellow.
He really is.
That is ridiculous. All right, well, Luminosity leading 4-1. And God, did they play that first half brilliantly. Can we get another nice half here to push this to a game 4? If you're just tuning in, it's a 2-0 advantage right now for Faze in this best
And
of
look what
5.
Faze have already done. Attack,
got it right back.
with the drone, brought it all the way back to his spawn.
I almost feel like, okay, so we talk about this being the least preferred side. Is it? Yes, because you can't get those setups like you can on the other, but if you play this properly, you can definitely, I mean, like we saw Luminosity do, you can go off on this side.
It all comes down to the slang. It all comes down to the slang. If you're on the preferred side and completely destroy your opponents in slang and spawn trap them, that's why it's a preferred side, because you can rake in the scores. When you do what Luminosity did earlier and didn't let them get that in that setup that they wanted, that's where you go to the half at that lead. Nice job, though, by Attach. Gets the first point of the board as Faze bring it back within 1 possession. But now, here's that setup Faze couldn't get once in the first half.
And they've got it. If they can pick up a couple kills in the base, this is going to be brutal for them, but they don't get the dunk through. Is anybody else home? Spacely trying to wrap back. Doesn't want them to get it off the edge. Can't pick up the kill. 4 down, and now it's the Faze counterattack. Here we go, baby. Trying to put more points on the board as they are still trailing, but you got a lead blocker in front. This is Clayster's POV. He's making sure no one can come through while Zuma wraps back with the drone. This should be Dunk City. There it is. Tie game quickly. The comeback for Faze is on.
Nice job by Faze to keep grabbing the drone and moving it in towards Kitchen, utilizing that outer lane. Attach going to call this HG, use it as a zoning tool, forces the pressure off glass. And Maven, this is what I spoke about earlier. In the first half, Faze couldn't do this once, but now they've started to get some kills. You've got Attach at 19 and 11. Zuma's brought it back to almost even. Enable's +1. Their slang that they were missing is now coming into play, and that's why you're seeing this game swing.
The Scythe comes out and does absolutely nothing. Now it's Attach by himself to play some defense here around the drone. He's got to stay alive. Can't do it. Now we'll swap the Luminosity as they're going to begin to work the push.
Scythe's out there as well.
Saints drops the drone, wants to get gun up and start the push. He's worried about mid-pressure. Look at the defensive stack you have from Faze right now.
They're just waiting this one out. Nameless has a Scythe as well. They don't want to give their bodies out to a free kill basically from him. Saints tries to push the middle, not going to work out for him there, but turns back around and cleans
They don't
up
have the drone.
Attach,
They don't
but
have the drone.
Faze hold off the push. Great job by Faze. Don't let the ARs of Luminosity get free pickings on your subs. They wound up pushing from unique lanes. Enable now flooding up with Psychosis. You've got a flank coming in that was just shut down, but I think the damage has already been done.
This should be a lead change. Attach will be your drone carrier. You saw the kills in front by Enable. He picks up 3. They don't want 1. They want 2. Going for more. Not able to get it, but you do get the lead change here. 5-4 Faze. 2:15 on the clock.
I can't wait to hear our analysts break down this map, how it's worked out to this point where the less preferred side has been the better of the two so far for these teams.
It has.
Zuma playing that close angle, gets a free kill into the player of Luminosity, and again, Faze win their gunfights around the drone spawn, and now they can elect to move wherever they want with this objective.
And I've got Spacely highlighted. It looks like Spacely flanked the entire way through the spawn. Somehow didn't run into any Faze players until he got to this point. And there's the heat wave. This might be a huge kill. Oh, the melee short, but does pick it up. He's trying to do it all. This is going to be points. This is an absolute dunk. This is a guaranteed dunk here.
This is going to be a dunk, but Luminosity need to rotate back fast. Faze are going to overextend, and they need to win gunfights around this drone. I think they still have an opportunity, though, to try to tack on more points. 90 seconds remaining. LG looking to go back up by 2 possessions.
The pass gets forward. Who's there to grab it? You're going to have Study picking it up. This is 2 more. They're looking to close out Faze here, push it to a game 4. This is the setup we've talked about, and this is the first time we've seen it the entire game.
And look, Faze are now splitting up. You had 2 players rotate back. There's 2 over at the drone. Luminosity are clearing them all out. This one could seal the deal right now. Faze have completely collapsed in the last 60 seconds.
Luminosity, 60 seconds. You've got to hold a 4-point advantage. You're still picking up kills in their base. Saints doing an incredible job. We talked about the fact that Saints needed to have a big game, right? He's 21 in 15. He has been a huge catalyst for the side of Luminosity. Spacely, Hunt with the HC, looking to pick one up. Unfortunately, Flak Jacket there, not going to be able to get it done, but Faze has to.
Done.
I don't think you can put from this side a 4-point miracle. It isn't really doable. If the roles were reversed, maybe they could, but I don't see how you get it done.
Spacely's just going to buy as much time as possible. That kill right there winds up basically sealing the deal. We're going to wind up seeing a game 4 as Luminosity in the last 2 minutes score 4 or 5 unanswered points to give themselves this game 3 win.
And if you think about that game 1, the fact that they were up by, what, 50 or so points to close out the game, this could very easily be a Luminosity-controlled series. And the S&D, I know it was 6-3, but there were some really, really close rounds. Like a lot of 1v1s, real back and forth. This series has been bonkers.
The telling thing for me right there was Faze wind up getting caught out in those far kitchen spawns. They couldn't recover quick enough. And what I love about Luminosity there is they made Faze pay for it. Sometimes you see teams hesitate. They don't wind up moving the drone quick enough to get that second score in. You had one gunfight, Spacely grabbed the drone, immediately threw it forward, they got the second dunk, and from then on out, Faze just didn't have an answer.
How impressed are you by that victory in that particular game mode by Luminosity?
I called it as a 3-0 for Faze, and I'll be the man to admit I was wrong. And now I want to see this series go the distance because we're going into CTF. It's a game mode that's not really dominated by any team. There's no team in the COD World League that's 7-0 in CTF. I think the best record is like 5-3. So this one really could go either way. I think these two teams will definitely go at it yet again. I think the series might be far from over.
I would love a 5th game, but you gentlemen on the desk, what were your thoughts there in the uplink?
Maven, thanks, Courage. So we got ourselves a little bit of a series now, and the interesting thing to note, Saints plays a little bit better. Surprise, Luminosity come out and they managed to pick up the win. Replays, what were some of the key moments in that one?
I mean, the key moment in that for me was Faze not controlling the drone and LG controlling the drone. At the end of that first side, well, first of all, LG should have been up a lot more with the amount of missed ones and the greedy plays, but that happened and they still took it out, and that's the thing.
Again,
it's the most annoying thing for me to watch. It's when you miss a very routine one when you're a professional player. It should not happen. And also, there's so many plays that we've seen in this tournament so far that you go for a 2 when you don't need to. It's
second game in, we've already seen it.
It's game changing, but like I said, Luminosity and Faze had a very even kill count. Faze actually might have had more on the end of that first side, and Luminosity was winning that, or it was a close game on the bad side because they controlled the drone.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was all about drone control, and a huge thing we've been talking about is like early leads, and Luminosity came out firing that time, and really when there was about 90 seconds left, even in the listen-in, Clayster was like, all it takes is one set of kills and we can set up this spawn trap. And you saw LG do it, you didn't really see Faze execute it. So it's a really good job by LG to almost waste that good side on Faze.
Yeah, completely. The wraps on that first side for LG is what really set it apart from me. If you're able to keep the score or even get the lead on that bad side, it's going to set you up, and they just maintained pretty well. I think Faze struggled on that second side when they were on the bad side. They would get kills at glass and not really get push up and get tree control. If you get to that back cages, the other team's going to struggle a lot. They have to wrap back to their base, and that's where you just set up so many ones over and over again. I feel like they did not convert on those kills. There's a couple times where I saw Zuma push up to that tree, and he just sort of played it a little bit too slow for my liking. You need to pressure at that cages, get control, and make the other team get it back from you. Didn't do it too well, in my opinion.
I mean, there you see the map count of the series. Of course, Faze still up 2-1, but we are going to that game 4, Breach CTF, so maybe things get a little bit more interesting there. I mean, I want to ask you guys kind of predictions here. I've got to give LG some serious props, right? Because after that first game, to get your head back into it and kind of recompose, I mean, the Search and Destroy, yeah, it was a 6-3, but they kind of showed moments where they were playing well. But, you know, winning there, I honestly thought their heads were going to be down. The entire crowd is kind of behind that Faze, guys. Every time they make a play, you can hear them getting loud. We actually have an Elgato Gaming flashback as well that we can take a look at. Some key moments from that last map. You can see just them tying it up here, of course. You know, Zuma managed to dunk it for 2. You've talked so much in replays about the importance of making sure you throw those correct ones. You know, correctly picking the time of when to go to a 2 or when to throw for a 1.
No, of course. I mean, you're going to watch this. I'm not sure it's going to be right here. I think Attach stopped him. Well, never mind. But Attach stopped him when one of those kind of plays was happening. When they already had the lead, or I'm pretty sure it was a close game right there. If you know there's a player by that, why are you getting greedy when you could just get the point of a 1 and continue the lead and keep tacking on it? When you throw a 1, You don't have your gun, you get your gun back in your hands where you can then get a kill and hold map control.
Right.
Usually when you go for a dunk, you get the dunk and then he kills you right away if he's there, and then you lose all map control and you can get countered. So there's so many times where you don't need to go for the 2. Obviously, when your teammates are calling it secure, you go for the 2, but not always.
Fair enough. Merc, next map, of course, the CTF. What are you expecting to see here? Is it maybe game 5 going here, or did FaZe close that?
Definitely. I mean, if you're Luminosity, you're pretty happy. I mean, game 1, they probably should have taken it. It was amazing play by FaZe. I mean, realistically, they're thinking...
dropping that amount of kills
right.
and you're losing.
Realistically, they're thinking, we should be winning this series. We can do this. We can play well versus FaZe. And Breach CTF is one of those high explosive CTF maps, very fast pace. You're sort of fighting over base control, and there's a lot of overextending, so it can be a very crazy game.
Yeah, my experience is this is one of LG's stronger maps. Actually, look for Saints just needs to step up. That's a good performance from him on that uplink, and you have to note as well, Clay struggled pretty bad there. He needs to bounce back if FaZe is going to able to close this out. Getting into this Ban and Protect, the Shiva, High Cal, Heat Wave, sort of similar stuff we saw from the last maps.
Yeah, maybe FaZe goes back to keeping tools away from Saints. The one time he has kinetic, he's able to go positive. So maybe that was a great playmaking for him. Puts him in a position to slay. So maybe just try and take as many tools away from him as possible.
You see Heat Wave's gone, Overdrive's gone, Camo's gone.
Yep.
I mean, High Cal, you probably, I know what you're going to say, replace. Don't you dare say it. Don't say,
Rapid fire,
rapid
fire
They're
and
gonna ban
tacticals.
stuns.
Yep, rapid fire and tacticals.
Well, that's kinetic.
But
That's wow. That's 4 specialists.
Another thing to go back to, really
Definitely
quick,
putting them on that back foot there.
is
Sorry.
LG controls that drone, by the way, so much because there was no afterburner ban. You're able to wrap that map with afterburner is so easy to delay the ball, and what LG did so well on the bad side is that they took the ball and they ran away. Even though FaZe is getting the 2 or 3 down, the last guy's like, well, I'm going to take the ball and run away from you. Peace out. And that's what happened, and that's why maybe next time going into a future map, when you play Evac, you're like, well, maybe we should get rid of that.
So looking at this, you can see both tacticals are in, and a ton of specialists are banned. So this is going to be a very interesting draft because usually CTF, a lot of the score plaking maze are from specialists, and without those in there, you're going to have to push up with your team and sort of control the map.
I thought it was really interesting the fact that LG is the one that banned kinetic. It didn't really go too well with you. You kind of want Saints with that kinetic. He's so gosh darn good with it, right? And he's using psychosis again. It didn't really work out, in my opinion, for him on that map 1. And I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Back to the tactical discussion, do you run stuns, do you run smokes? I feel like smokes, pulling flags with a smoke on this map is very, very good, pushing that broken to double door side through this little statue room. So what do you go with here?
Just give him. I just think LG need to give him a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, like if he's not going to have a playmaking specialist, you need to give him at least like a Tempest, something that he can make as many plays with. Something like the Annihilator, especially in CTF, because you sort of have time in between shots to line up. You can get a good 3-4 set of kills with one.
So having seen the Ban and Protect and kind of hypothesizing about what the player is going to potentially use, replays, does this go to game 5?
It can very easily go to game 5. I mean, CTF is a game mode where it's very, in my opinion, under-practiced by a lot of pros as well. You don't see a lot of teams scrim CTF. It's crazy to say, but when you really watch scrims, it's a lot of hardpoint, it's a lot of uplinks, very rarely search, and very rarely CTF. So this could be a game mode where you do see, like, a Luminosity take this out. And another thing, like you said, a lot of the capture the flag maps happen when someone camos, pulls the flag out, gets a 2-piece and run. That's not going to happen in this game. And with that not happening, a lot of teams that don't practice CTF are going to be a little confused on how to get flags out because they have not practiced it. As crazy as it sounds, you have to make sure you push up with your team. You trade your kills and you run, and then you make sure you watch the overextend. So
right, like if you look at FaZe and how they played, like in that S&D with their team communication and waiting for each other for pushes, you got to give the advantage to them in CTF because that's what it's going to come down to is team pushes and trading those kills and effectively getting that flag out.
TP, game 5, yay or nay?
I'm feeling the game 5 in my opinion.
There we go.
I feel like LG has sort of had like the more energy in terms of slaying in this entire series. FaZe has just been playing as a better as a team. Simple as that. Clay struggled on that uplink. I don't know if he's going to be able to transition and bounce back on the breach.
Well, we'll have to wait and see the game getting ready to go underway. We can actually throw it over once again to the wonderful Courage and Maven.
Thank you so much. Spectacular stuff. I love that crew on analysis.
Yes.
They're killing it. 3 pro players, former pro players, breaking it down. It's been impeccable.
What I love, too, is they gave us some stuff to watch out for here in regards to flag pulling, obviously utilizing smokes, certain aspects of CTF that are unique to this game mode only. Definitely going to be watching out. They're predicting some game 5s. I'm there as well. Are you in the same boat?
No. FaZe, 3-1. They win the CTF. It's over. FaZe fans everywhere. Celebrate.
You're just doing that to get them all riled up.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was, Jack.
All right, well, we are preparing to get into this map 4. Remember, stay involved with the conversation on Twitter. Use the hashtag MLG Anaheim. Also, Call of Duty XP just announced, obviously, for the first weekend in September. That might be the best weekend of my life.
I'm going to just light you up with paintball.
That is horrifying to say. I have a low pain tolerance. I pulled a muscle in my neck casting that first hard point.
My goal at COD XP will be make you cry.
All right, well,
with the
wouldn't be the first time you made me cry, Glenn.
But no, it's going to be amazing, man. I cannot wait. Oh, God, if you haven't been able to check out maybe the teaser videos or the hype videos coming around COD XP, just go to callofduty.com. You can check it out. There's a lot of valuable information there, but there's going to be a ton of money on the line. All sorts of Call of Duty-related activities, and I love activities. I do.
I do as well. One of my favorite activities is casting Call
Let's get it,
of Duty.
baby.
It's Luminosity versus Faze Clan. In Game 4, Faze went up 2-0. LG fight back in the uplink, and now we're watching Clayster off the start on Breach.
What's interesting here to note, you started from the more preferred side in the uplink for Faze. They didn't do much with it, right?
Yes.
Now you start on the strong side in the CTF as well. You need a better first half. I mean, you need to be up at least, what, I would say a couple caps here, in my opinion, when you're pushing towards Broken.
Okay.
I would like to have like a two cap lead when if you're going to be swapping.
Well, already the flag's actually been pulled by Luminosity.
What was that?
Whoa, Saints just shreds right through Enable right there. He's going to try to continue this push.
He should be dead. They are swarming around him. He's got one behind, one in front. Unless he can kill everything, not able to do it. The push will be stifled for now.
Well, basically, who wound up coming down to everyone off the break died except for Saints. So he was really by himself on that one. Tried to get it on in. Now, Clayster pulling it out of the Luminosity base. He's going to try to get it across the map.
He makes me nervous every time he is near an edge.
Pressure just below him. He decides to challenge his player, which I do think is the correct decision.
Don't do it. Don't do it to him. Clay killing everybody. Wants all the points.
Oh, my God.
Doing it all by himself. Analysis said Clay needs to pick it up. He has done that, but unfortunately, Nameless is coming on through. He's setting up, pulls the flag, going to get out. There's one more around the corner. Can he win the gunfight? Not able to do it.
Wow.
The return should be there. The cap is there, and Clay is only 125 off the Hellstorm.
I'll tell you right now, from what I've seen so far today, if you're going to make a top 5 plays of the night, that was one of them. Clayster. Beautiful job recognizing the situation, but now a counter cap opportunity from LG enable us to hold off 3 players.
He gets to hold off that Simtex too, is right on his toe, but still trying to deal with it. Comes in the back, kills the flag carrier, attaches, grabs it on the other side, and with 3 down, if they pick up that kill in the base, it would have been a guaranteed cap, but Study's been able to get it out. We'll keep him highlighted. He's running down towards basically Palace right now to get with his teammates, and now we're going to have a stalemate here with 3 minutes left. Oh, dart out, dart out.
Dart out from Faze. It's going to be Clayster who had a 4. That's a door. And now no more dart for Faze, but I do want to say, Study had a split-second decision with that flag. Which way do I run it? He recognized where he had to bring it, and now he's got it right outside Palace. Faze with a couple kills, though. Remember, if you are new to competitive Call of Duty, capture the flag, a 7.5-second respawn delay, the largest of any respawn game modes we play. As now Zuma's trying to play sneaky.
If they wrap this flag back, oh, well, they check the corner. Flower pot not safe. They're gonna end up dropping, but you still have flag out for either side. Attach, tons of coverage. Look at the minimap. I mean, no one at a good point to poke at this point. Nameless probably the furthest pushed up on the map, so let's check out his POV as he's trying to work for the return here.
Now,
but he's basically in a 1 versus 3 as he pushes up.
Imagine if this stalemate goes on for the next couple minutes, and in the last few seconds, Luminosity can get the return and tie it up 1-1 at the half. I feel like you've got to be head over heels if that's how you go into the second side of this game.
I wouldn't feel that bad as Luminosity down by 1. Personally, I think you see most of the caps come from this strong side where you see Faze already get on the board. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be in a deficit ever in CTF, but I still wouldn't feel that bad about it, to be honest. And now Nameless might be the one to make the play. He's getting flanked, though. There's one behind. That's Zuma. What do you know? Flanking shocker there. Let's go to the other side. It's Enable's trying to peek. He can win this gun site. Somebody apply a little bit of pressure, tags them up, not able to finish it. And there's just so much to deal with. They have like all 4 players basically protecting, or the other 3 protecting the flag.
And now I'm wondering if either team winds up putting stuff into trying to get this return, right? Like, do we see specialists start getting popped? Do we see, 3-man pushes that come out, leaving flag carriers by themselves? Right now, both teams playing with 2 on defense, watching over their flag. Enable getting tackled from behind. He'll go ahead and fall as this stalemate has now gone on for almost 2 minutes, Clint.
Yeah. Definitely burning some time off the clock here, Jack. Saints is in bottom lab, and he's just kind of hanging tight, maybe looking for an opening, to try to get, oh, well, guess what? Vision Pulse is popped. They know right where you are, buddy. Gonna get pressured, will end up falling, but Spacely is here as well, trying to wrap around the back. Can he win this? That was actually your flag carrier, too. Attached, some risky business there.
So if you're wondering why they just popped Vision Pulse like we just saw, it was because they were missing Saints. They were counting how many players were up. They knew, whoa, we might be getting flanked. There might be someone hitting the low wall run. Pop that Vision Pulse, get full knowledge of where that opponent is. LG continuing to keep their base clear, and Study has had this flag for 3 minutes now and has yet to see a player, and this was what I was wondering. Do teams begin to invest in returning this flag?
This is the play.
Faze now have.
The Annihilator, can he get it done? Oh no, if he hits that shot, things really open up. Don't challenge him. Flag carrier I thought was gonna go high. They're actually gonna fly him. Okay, I take it back. Beautiful play. You're able to shut it down.
That's
Nameless is sort of on the opposite side of the map. Maybe some heroic play, but no, that'll be it. We're gonna go into half. 1-0 lead for Faze. And I don't know, I mean, I feel like that long, like 4-minute stalemate in a way works for both sides because you're only down 1 if you're Luminosity, which isn't too bad. In Faze, you're able to keep the edge, but is that enough? I don't know that a 1-0 lead's safe.
I think Luminosity, they're going into this realizing too that, hey, Zuma popped his Annihilator at the end for nothing.
Absolutely
That's
nothing.
one less specialist we have to worry about going into side 2. How many times have we seen in Capture the Flag where a team has a solid break? 3, 4 dead, they pull it, get this cap within a minute. That's exactly what I want to see LG do right now.
Well, let's go. Study has Annihilator up. Might save that for an emergency moment. Look at how low the kills are. Study's 5-1. What a ridiculous stat line.
Especially in stalemates.
Minutes. Oh, Study trying to tag up a couple. Should open things up for Spacely in front of him to push forward. He gets dropped, though, as one flies across connector. Study still trying to get eyes on.
And this is where you need to start to battle with yourself on, do I play for streaks? Streaks can be game-saving. He does see the shadow of the player, bottom broken. Now he's earned himself the Lightning. A couple more kills off of not only the Hellstorm for 1 kill, but the Cerberus as well. These are game-changing engagements. There's the Hellstorm, 25 off of that Cerberus.
You're on strong side. You might have a fully streaked out Study. You got to feel great right now if you're Luminosity. He's playing very, very safe. Wants to make sure he finds his final kill. The call comes in. Was that a sight?
I don't.
No, maybe not.
I don't believe so.
For some reason, I thought I saw it. But yeah, okay, fully streaked out. Now the pressure going to start to come in. He can be a little bit more aggressive now. How do you want them to push this, Jack?
This could be the push right now for Luminosity. Studies open it up with the first blood. Zuma does answer right back, though. Nameless watching over. They've got ARs. They have one more player to watch out for. No Annihilator popped quite yet, but this is going to be a flag pull. And
get the flag.
Nameless,
he gets it. Oh, God, and he gets stunned up. He doesn't get out. He should have absolutely been out. They thought they had the sure. Saints, though, able to grab it. Now going topside. You have Spacely picking up kills, and the base has to win one. And Saints does it. That will absolutely be a cap.
Luminosity needs to play for the They can play for this relay right now. They needed to get control of a player bottom broken towards top glass. The spawns do come in on Faze's flag, but LG, they're still putting on the pressure. That's 3 dead again. They're going to get the rally.
This should be a rally. There's one more forward. That's actually Spacely. Sorry, they might be able to get the flagpole. Can't win that one gunfight. You thought maybe they had it. And this is why I didn't think the 1-cap lead was that safe. You can get a rally like that on this side, and sometimes you can do it pretty easily. Honestly, you probably should have had 2 caps there.
Within 2 minutes, Luminosity have done more in the second half than what they did in the entirety of the 5 minutes inside 1.
Jack,
they've got streaks still. They still have the Annihilator as well.
Study was 5-1 coming into the half.
17-3. Insane, because you know what they've done?
That's ludicrous.
They've kept their pressure up. They've held down a lane. He played for streaks very well, and they have a Cerberus to fall back on. That's a nice use of a Hellstorm. They're just trying to relieve some pressure in their base. Spacely's pulled this flag as well. It's all going to come down to Zuma. His presence is now gone. LG going to take the lead as they are now just 2 minutes away from forcing the game 5 versus Faze.
I'm just laughing at Study's stat line right now. 18-3.
Cerberus
and now
is down.
they've got the lead. Study just dropped the Cerberus. He will be tagged up. But sorry, you have another player here to deal with it, and that's going to be in form of the Cerberus. It's chasing down the flag carrier. It kills him. You can't get out there. What a perfect time to call it in.
20-4. A 5.0 KD right now.
I'm going back
Study.
to him. I'm going back to him.
One of the better CTF performances I've seen in the COD World League, and they're still in position.
Well, what's insane to think about is that he was 5-1 because he had the flag the entire time. He couldn't even get involved with the action. Didn't have a chance to get warmed up in this game, get a groove for it, and somehow explodes in this second side.
And you mentioned earlier, save the Annihilator for a gloomy moment in the game. He still has it. Right now, Faze have an opportunity to go for this flagpole. And look, one-on-one engagement, let me guarantee it.
Perfect.
With a one-shot, one-kill weapon. Great mindset to have from Study. His Cerberus is still there as well, acting as like a fifth man. Study is not missing, Maven. This is scary if you're a FaZe Clan fan.
23-4 now. Saw one go into bottom lab. Really call it out to his teammate. Oh, well, sorry, buddy. He's prone there, and Spacey's got another
They get
flag
this
out.
kill, the game's over. They
Yep.
get this kill, the game is over.
There it is. That's
GG,
game.
folks. We're going to a game 5.
FaZe fans getting a little bit nervous. The building's got a bit quieter over the last 10 minutes, Jack.
I can hear myself think now. Finally.
I mean, is it tactically over? No, there's 50 seconds, but 2 caps, and we've seen basically little to zero offensive pressure from FaZe this side. It's been completely dominated.
Player life, assist, gets him the lightning, that's it.
And this is exactly why I said I didn't feel that good about FaZe having a 1-0 lead.
Oh, and now Luminosity are fighting to the nail. This is what I love about this team, Maven, and why they've improved so much in the last couple weeks in our online COD World League team. Study goes absolutely huge in this game to carry his team. What a difference in the two sides. You mentioned FaZe's 1-0 lead. It wasn't enough, and that's exactly how it worked out. And now we will see a potential reverse sweep opportunity for Luminosity.
Luminosity has come alive. Spacely's got streaks. Study was calling him in. They shut it down.
GG.
Wow, we are going to a game 5, and I'll tell you what.
That's the man right there, baby.
FaZe fans out there in the crowd, your team needs your energy. The 2-0 lead is gone. Wow.
I'm speechless that this is how today is starting. I mean, you go back and look at this series, the Hardpoint. Luminosity wins 9 out of 10 times the scenario they're in. They throw it away.
The series should be over. Luminosity 3-1 victory.
Yes. Game 2, the search and destroy. Study trying to make it happen with the sniper. It doesn't wind up working out. FaZe go up 2-0. But in the Uplink and the CTF, Luminosity in slaying have matched or beaten FaZe, and they've done a great job of taking advantage of the preferred side on the maps. We're going to a game 5. I'm excited.
You having fun, buddy?
I'm having a blast.
This game 5
this is a dream come true.
Is going to be remarkable, and it is only day 1. But to break down the CTF action, we'll toss it over to Benson and the crew.
Maven, thanks, Courage. The reverse sweep, it's on right now. We're going to game 5. It was very possible, but I just want to highlight Study once again. You can see the hype, the energy. It's what we kind of talked about. We talked about it very much with Clay after game 1. You're like, okay, well, rip this series. It's over. But Study right there. I mean,
14 streak.
what a performance that is. Like
15-1.
Gets himself fully
So
streaked out.
unbelievable.
Plays kind of aggressive with the flag, which we kind of noted a little bit, but playing for those score streaks ends up getting them very aggressive off the second half. But I mean, replays, wow. Like this is a great performance from those guys.
I mean, yeah, they're doing so well right now, and they're doing a good job of bouncing back from the 2-0, like we were just talking about. And it does not surprise me in a sense, though, because they played so well in the Hardpoint. We're talking as if they got destroyed in the Hardpoint. They went down 2-0, and you know what I'm saying? It's not. They were there. This could have been their series. You know what I'm saying? And going into this last search and destroy, though, FaZe looked like the better search and destroy team. So if FaZe can bounce back, just as LG just did, and keep that composure and play their search game, they could take this. But this is going to be a really, really good game 5.
But there's a twist, right? This is their worst map.
Well, last time the reverse sweep happened, I'm pretty sure it was Stronghold against Optic.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that CTF too, that first half, the stalemate, we talked about how much it helped LG. And one thing that was huge where FaZe kind of screwed themselves was banning all of the offensive specialists. All the playmaking ones where you would get that flag out, maybe return it with camo, kinetic, even heatwave, there was none of them. There was none of them. So LG just played it really smart. Study did peak a few things he probably shouldn't have, but they knew going to that better half that 1-0 was fine.
Yeah, exactly. Study just completely controlled that brick side of the map, that right side pushing up over and over again towards green. The biggest thing I saw from FaZe is multiple times, going to call out Zuma on this one. You can't re-peek Study when someone's shooting like that. It was multiple times at green, re-peeking. Study's just going to be pre-aiming you, and that's why he's able to go on such a crazy streak. When Study starts to light up the map like that, Annihilator comes out. And another thing, Spacely didn't get many altercations on that map, but he literally sustained the lead for him. When you get a lead like that, when you have such heavy map control, you OE Palace, he did it 2 or 3 times, and you make the other team worry. You can't push out from green if Spacely's behind you. He got the kill on Enable, and that's how they got the second flag. Shout out to Spacely. That's very, very good OBJ.
It's very interesting as well watching Study play. Like Merc, you just kind of mentioned, probably challenged a couple of things he shouldn't have done. And there was that moment where he pulled out the Annihilator defensively, and a couple of, like, you were like, I probably prefer my gun in that situation.
Right.
But he's playing with such confidence, right? And a confidence study is a study which you can go back years and years and past titles. It's a petrifying thing, though.
Yeah, and like we said, he's very much like Zuma, where he doesn't care who he's playing. You know, he's just zoned it on a game.
Yep.
And as soon as LG, the rest of his team, can help him out, like, they're very tough to beat. And you can see that. Everything seems to be going well. I don't think the rest of his team, I don't think any other of them were even positive. Nope. Like, he was the like 25-6. And so he has sort of he needs a little bit more of a supporting role, right. and then they'll be even better. I mean,
looking forward now, TP, though, going to this Game 5, I mean, you have Saints have a really poor first search and destroy of the series, but the momentum has shifted a little bit, as you heard the guys say over the casting desk. The crowd isn't as loud as they were when we saw that comeback on map 1, and that's definitely a little bit of a factor. But it is going to be that Stronghold search and destroy Game 5 TP. Do we see the full reverse sweep?
I know we're only a couple series in. Study's been the best player we've seen. A couple series in, he is playing lights out. If he keeps it up, that Redwood 2 they lost. He started, what, 9-1, 8-1 with a sniper. Is he going to pull it out here? You know, sniper's super strong. Back Humvees looking over that B-bomb. You know, what is FaZe going to do to get these bombs down? Are they going to try and play mansion? Are they try and play middle? If Study's shooting like this, though, if he is able to get that snipe over towards the mid-alley, towards the fire pit, what is FaZe going to do? They can't slow down, but LG has the momentum.
Do we potentially see Attach pull out sniper rifle now replace? Is this the time?
I mean, this is probably the time where Attach has got to try and put him in his place. He's playing absolutely amazing right now. Someone's going to have to shut it down. And the only way to stop someone that's that confident is by stepping up and being like, listen, you're doing good, but I'm better. And that's what one of them is going to have to do unless Study is going to continue to pick people apart and doing as well as he's doing. I mean, what do you do when Study, like I said, in that CTF, it's not even like you play the map poorly. It's what do you do? This guy's 25, 17-1. You know what I'm saying?
What do you do? He didn't
There's
die.
so much you can do. There's so much you can do to stop that. So I mean, they really going to have to try and shut him down.
Well, Ban and Protect getting underway. Game 5. Do we see anything different, or are we? I know replays. I know what you're going to say. High cal rapid fire. It's probably going to be banned. But do we see any other curveballs? Any specialists targets at any of these individual plays?
I think if you're Luminosity, you're happy to play straight up right now.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? If you're FaZe, maybe you throw in a curveball, but they probably won't. I mean, their search and destroy game looked better in that game too.
For sure.
Their communication and how they moved around the map, they have a huge advantage. So I think both teams play pretty straight up. I mean, I think in game 2 there was flashbangs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, and they're both gone. So Luminosity's playing very confident. Forfeit.
Enable doesn't ban anything. Interesting. Looking over. Doesn't
Looks like they're talking to each other.
Yeah, it looks like they were just kind of talking, but
Maybe he forgot to hit the button.
No.
Yeah,
he was
not
hovering. He was
sure what's
like,
going
guys,
on.
am I banning this? Guys, am I banning this? But guys, am I banning?
definitely.
Guys, why didn't you tell me to ban? Come on, guys.
It seems like no one's banning now.
Yeah, maybe could see a potential restart. But kind of going back to it, we've already seen a couple of the bans, and as you kind
there's
of
a camo.
correctly predicted, that was Zoomer banning. So I guess we'll,
Space again for?
I guess we'll waste.
We'll do 3 bans.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Okay.
reset.
It's probably
Official
gonna
work
be
on
a
it.
reset, yeah.
It will be a reset. But we've seen a couple of the bans. Flashbangs, concussion, you can assume replays, as you are Master Yoda at the desk, that high cal rapid fire will most likely go. Shocking. There goes the high cal. Who saw that one coming? No one. But it's strange to me that no one really wants to try and target anyone individually. But I guess, as you said, Merc, you know, they're just happy playing their game right now, right? Like, and I suppose that's the key, right? When you're confident, keep playing your own game.
The biggest thing, too, it looks like Luminosity is just shooting a lot better than FaZe right now. They're playing so confident. It's mostly just Study taking over, to be honest. The other ones are just kind of holding that 1.0 KD line. But, like, what kind of has been working, especially on that CTF, is all the specialists being gone. That was like one of the most traditional CTFs I've seen in many months.
It literally looked like
Black Ops
watching like
3,
MW3 at one point. I was like,
yeah, exactly. So
5 minute stalemate.
when you don't have to worry about stuff like that, that's what allows Study, maybe Saints to get a little bit more comfortable. They don't get taken out. They start to get in that rhythm we were talking about before. Some of the best momentum players we've seen in the pro scene for so many years. So now it's starting to show.
Yeah, I mean, if you're FaZe 2 and you know how much better you're supposed to be, why take away those good specialists? You know, you're going to get them more. If you're playing to your potential, you're going to get those specialists more. So maybe overthinking that part just a little bit. Obviously,
that's a really good point.
You don't want Saints to go off, but now you have to deal with Study because he doesn't have Heat Wave and Kinetic running at him. It's just easy plays for him.
And I think that the worry really for a lot of the FaZe fans out there now is imagine, let's just say, Saints doesn't start off 1-7 in the Search and Destroy. If they start off a little bit better, maybe they get some of those specialists earlier than FaZe did, they could really pull away in this Game 5.
Okay.
Scary thoughts, really is. But in terms of predictions, first Game 5 of Anaheim, I got to ask, I know, it's the cheesy thing to do. Merc, we're going to start with you.
I'm going to go FaZe 6-4.
FaZe 6-4. Okay, Teep.
Faze just has not been shooting well. I'm going to take LG at a 6-4.
6-4 as well.
Either team 5-5, either team 6-5. I want around 11. I'm feeling it.
That is the most typical. I can't believe you've been on the analyst desk for less than a day and you're already being. That is my job. That isn't your job. You're supposed to give the precise. I'm supposed to be the hype guy that says
my
round
entire
11.
career, I've loved round 11. I think that the way both teams have. I have. That's
Who
my
said no
favorite
player
round.
ever?
It has. I've always loved round 11. It's a great. Being in that situation is awesome. Come on.
you do.
I do.
No,
anyway,
obviously, unless it doesn't go your way, then it's
I mean,
not.
like I said, the reason why I say round 11, I'll give a little bit of an explanation. LG's playing well right now. They're hot. They're off a 2-0 map right here. But Faze looked better in the Search and Destroy. So if Faze plays that way, but LG's on that hot streak, I think it's going to go round by round. I would not be surprised to see a round 11 just because of the way that's going.
And Stronghold's one of those maps where there's not really a preferred side. Obviously, the defense is pretty strong because you can jump over that bomb site and see over the Hummers. But if teams are able to trade effectively in that mansion area, maybe switch up, show some bunker pushes, you can easily win an offense.
Yeah, especially on that Redwood as well. Faze did a much better job of working the map. They were spreading themselves out, and then when they needed to get something done, group up, hit the bomb sites together, and that works very well at Mansion. Getting that top table control, working the guy at the bottom A steps or couch, wherever that person may be playing. We're going to see if the sniper's going to come into play at Mansion or at Humvees. A lot of different stuff you could do. I feel like Faze has more things in the playbook than LG probably does. Okay. But then again, if Saints is lighting up in Mansion, winning all his gunfights, that's the place where he wants to be too.
Right. Yeah. That's where it could get really scary. And again, talking about that sniper rifle, you need to see a counter come because Study, I mean, we saw in the first S&D, yes, they lost it, but he was very, very on form with that sniper rifle.
He didn't even care. Like, he was fighting snipers and just re-peeking over and over, like, not care at all.
He wasn't scared, yeah.
If we saw that in the CTF as well.
If he gets shut down one time, that stops because it's just the way it is. I mean, he'll be like, well, I just costed my team that round, basically.
Exactly.
So it'll be up to Attach or even Clay to pull out that sniper and shut him down.
Do you think maybe TP we see any specific specialists being used this round? Are you looking maybe for, Zuma is going to get his hands on overdrive, maybe go for a very quick mansion push, or maybe even push out to rocks on the defensive side? Anything specific you're looking for here?
It really depends on how these bandit protects go down, to be honest. Some maps, they were heavily targeting those specialists. I don't know if they didn't really do it that much on the Redwood, but we're now back into it. We're going to see what sort of strat they're going to go for. I'm a huge advocate of Vision Pulse for Mansion, especially on defense. You can easily scope out, wait until a little bit later in the round. It's easy to get in those clutch situations as well. You can ping the whole building and go from there.
And if Kinetic stays around, that's usually a round 10, round 11 specialist. So if that stays in this game, whoever has that Kinetic could be the playmaker.
Well, we got Heatwave gone, the flashes and concussions gone, Shiva, of course, gone. That's been out all series. And now, there's the Kinetic.
Come on, Clay. Come on, man. Like, jeez.
I would have loved to have seen that, but no. We also have Overclock gone, so
and that's something game 2 we didn't know was in the game, and that's why there were so many overdrive plays. So they want to eliminate that use of specialist.
All right, we get it, replays. We get it.
I didn't say anything.
You pointed at the screen, you grinned. We get it. Rapid
I
fire
didn't point
win.
at anything. There's no proof.
Nope, high cal's in.
What's the last ban?
Oh my God!
No!
Oh my God!
That's crazy. It's like you guys know the
Interesting
game.
too, no overkill ban. Will overkill come into play? That's a very big point.
That's a good call. Maybe we see Study maybe put down on his class, but I mean, does he really need to though? Does he need to?
The RK5 is pretty darn good.
I was gonna say the overkill's it's good. It's nice to have like a Kudo or a VMP in your back
it's kind of a waste.
But like I said, it's the RK5 in the Mansion.
You're good.
Honestly, you might prefer that in closer range gunfights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that one burst. So it's really
burst,
not that necessary. And then you can put on tacticals, cold-blooded, whatever you want when that sniper class. We might not even see it used.
And Study with overdrive. This is something he loves to do on offense. He's literally just going to rush that bomb. He does it over and over. He'll either get the bomb and plant it, or he'll get that position for his teammates to push it.
Also to note, Clay with the Vision Pulse. TP, you kind of called that one correctly. We got Active Camo on Saints, Overdrive Study, Psychosis on Nameless. The last one really waiting for Spacely. Reaper Spectra Psychosis Camo, Vision Pulse, and Overdrive. Glitch from Spacely.
He does like his glitch.
I think it's very good on this map too, because if you're jumping in and out of Mansion, you can like glitch to the top of the bottom floor and get out of a gunfight.
Yeah, very good. I gotta give the advantage to the Vision Pulse, though. I feel like you can use it just as much as glitch, but it's much more useful. You can use it in almost every
It gives
single
you a lot of
situation.
information, right?
Right, exactly. You know how to play any situation.
It would be really interesting to see if he uses that vision pulse with a bunker push on offense, pops it, and maybe catches them off guard. So it'll be really interesting to see how he uses that.
So now you guys know how the protect and ban goes. Any changes to the predictions, or you're going to stick with it? Merc, you seem happy to stick with the Faze.
Yeah,
Faze boys.
Yeah, definitely Faze.
Okay, you still happy with your pick?
A big thing that's going to come into play that we didn't touch on is both grenades are in as well. Are we be watching Danger Close, the mid alley to Fire Pit? We know those nerd nades quite well. So I don't know how it's going to play. I'm going to stick with my prediction though.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to go with my LG pick, but.
Fair. Just happy that we obviously have a game 5.
And
we love our game
there,
5s.
He did have an overkill class, so very interesting to see. He did have one.
Okay, hey, that's very, very interesting. As you can see on the player screens, the game's getting ready to go. Replays. Got to ask you as well, sticking with your pick. You actually didn't, technically you didn't give a pick. You just said the classic, round 11,
No,
yeah.
it's like I said, I think that the way that their LG's about to come out, they're going to be coming out confident, and I think they're going to take their defenses because they're shooting so well, like Tyler has been saying, and I think that's going to be a huge factor. But I do think when FaZe gets back onto the defensive side, if you just hold the mansion and you play regular defense, it's a pretty routine round for you. So I honestly think the way Stronghold usually plays, it's a very, all right, we want our defense, just try and win an offense now.
Right.
Oh, we lost our offense. All right, just win the defense, and then we'll win the next offense. It's a very
enough.
oriented map of that, so you really do see a lot of round 11s on Stronghold. I'm not just saying that because I like the round. I swear.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Game about to get underway. We have ourselves our first Game 5 here at MLG Anaheim. I'm excited. It should be a good one. Back over to the boys in orange.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, everyone here in attendance in Anaheim, California, it is Game 5 time, baby. Make some noise. Faze fans, Luminosity fans, Call of Duty fans, I don't care who you are. This is going to be spectacular.
Yes, it most certainly is. The venue is packed. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the MLG Anaheim Open so far, because guess what? This weekend is just getting started. Remember, there's the Bravo and Charlie streams as well as Facebook Live that you can tune in, watch stuff throughout the weekend. It's going to be fun. This map, though, Stronghold, Search and Destroy. And after this, we have our final match of the night up here. Optic Gaming's going to be playing in their matchup. It should be a lot of fun.
Well, what's interesting here to talk about, too,
Up against Team Solomon.
we'll take a look at Studies class. With Overkill having that SVG going with the VMP, this is a Faze team. Now, they did this during the regular league, but when Overkill got through, I have seen 3 to 4 of them pull out a sniper. Now, I don't know how relevant that is here. I believe they did it on something like Infection. Also, I believe on Fringe.
Yes.
But when you're able to have Overkill, you can have a lot more utility with multiple snipers.
You definitely can. I don't know if we're going to see that in this game, but we'll see how it pays off as we are still watching Study. We know what he accomplished back in Game 2 with this weapon. Let's see if he can replicate that now in the final map of the series.
Well, I'm curious, for me, can you check through some of the classes? I want to know who has Cold-Blooded. Do we have Cold-Blooded on a lot of the Faze classes?
Attach has it. That's it from Faze.
Okay. Just curious what Study's going to be looking at here, but they're starting to push forward. They're already 35 seconds or so off the clock, so they're going to have to start to try and make a play. Study is backing up. You know, he wants to be in a, if they can get the bomb down at B, and he's in a post-plant position, could be huge. Who is right at the corner here? It's actually Zuma.
That's a sick angle. That is a sick.
He saw him cross.
Sick.
Now you wait. Don't let him get the bomb planted. There's the kill. First blood comes in for Zuma. We talk about how brilliant he is at that, trying to challenge more. That Study with a sniper. He's got to back out. I don't think he wants to re-peek that edge. Nameless has gotten inside. So look at this. You do have a couple snipers. Nameless has one. Yep. You saw Study with one. Yep. Not shocked to see that. Now going to work on the plant. Study, Saints pick up the kills. You've got 2 left. It's just attached now. 1v3. Bomb is planted. He's one of the best S&D players in the game, but can he get it done here? There's the first. Looking for more. 2 left. He's got to shut down Nameless and Study. If anyone can do it, you got to think it's him.
He still has time, but he needs to eliminate certain areas where these players can be. He not only has to worry about this backside of the map, but half wall. He's just going to gamble and hope that the players are back here. Does spot one. The pinch should be in again to come in. Attach. He's got Cold-Blooded. Can't hit the shot, and just like that, the round will end.
Cold-Blooded saved his life.
Yeah, I'm going to say, though, Luminosity, I thought that round was done. When Zuma got that kill on Bomb, played his life, I thought the round was done. But they won 2 one-on-one engagements inside Mansion, which not only gave them a number advantage, but forced Faze away from the B-Bomb, giving them time to plant. And at that moment, you really kind of set in and realized, all right, Luminosity, they swing that first offensive round, and now they're up 1-0.
That's huge. Now let's look at all the classes here real quick. Clayster, take a look there. VMP for Enable, attach VMP as well. And so they're going away from the sniper entirely,
And
which shocks me a bit.
But it also, it's offense. They don't want to, they're not playing for a first pick. In
Well, you saw
regards to
two
middle map.
come out from the other side.
That was because Luminosity were playing around a pick middle map. Now Faze playing for a mansion push. Study gets first blood. Challenge.
Oh, Lord.
Study hits 2 headshots in a row. LG back to another number advantage. A tough gunfight win for Enable there.
I feel like I have to go back to Study because he's working on the ace here.
Oh
There's
my
one.
gosh.
Let's see if he can find the fourth. He's 4-0. Give me the ace, baby. There it is.
Study.
Study.
Study is my MVP of the match right now for Luminosity. I checked Twitter, I checked Reddit. Everyone was talking about his CTF performance. Now he's looking to one-up that here in Game 5. Not using fast hands as well on this weapon. He's got such a stat class right now, still with the sniper on.
Oh my God. I mean, think about how this group C, it was already kind of our group of death.
Yep.
With Elevate beating Luminosity, if Luminosity were to beat Faze now, I mean, this group's all over the place.
Yeah, I don't even know how to predict anything.
He
They're
already has
still
overdrive.
Going with the sniper, we're 3 rounds in, he's got overdrive, and there's no overclock available. So that's just because of the amount of pressure he's had on this map. He's looking brilliant at the moment, and they're going to continue to play for a pick. Oh, please, don't do that. Please, please, please don't do that.
Just for a second, saw one. We got to stick with Study just because he's real close to getting towards the Dart and Lightning. Oh, the nade going to be on the site. Going to back up one. All right, well, Zuma doesn't move. Study with the Kobe, picking up the kill. There's the first blood, and now they're backing him up. Let's get closer to the bomb site because Nameless might get challenged here. I think it's Attach that's right behind the site. Might be able to peek him, but there's 2 people going on the flank. Study's about to get more. They're not ready for this at all.
The bomb was just planted. Study playing this off angle. Does get peeked.
They were ready for it. I take it back.
Finally shut down the man himself, Study. The bomb is planted. Faze going to have to get this defused. How do Spacely and Saints like to play this? You still have 1 player on the bomb. Does sniff out 1 Faze player. It's now 2-on-2.
He saw him.
I don't think he saw him. I don't think he saw him. He gets tagged up from behind. Challenges a second. Left in the 1-on-1. Saints up against Attach.
Saints. Attach one of the best 1v1 players in the game, and you see why there. Give me 3 plus the defuse.
Clayster's face says it all right there, Maven.
Attach saved. He might have saved their game 5.
Hey,
because that would have been 3-0.
Let me bring up a few things. They shut down Study, stop him from more streaks. Attach, because of that 3-kill round, earns himself the HC, and he's 1 kill off of active camo. Faze could swing this game back into their favor, tie it up here. What a swing round that Attach just had.
They can, but remember one thing for the side of Luminosity, due to Study's hot start, he got overdrive very quickly. Do you think maybe he uses it here? We'll check with them, but on defense, he might try to make a play. Where do you like overdrive the most?
I think Study still just snipes from the back Humvee. But instead, yeah, no, he swaps over to an M8, not going to use overdrive either way.
Okay, so let's get back to the offense here. As Attach's back hurts, man. He has more kills than the rest of his team combined. Clayster is a guy that we know shows up in a big way a lot of times in these final games. He has to do it now. He has got to come alive.
Well, an HC has been called in on the side of Luminosity. Go ahead and see as Study is controlling that. And look, this is what I've loved about this LG team so far this series. They do have some rounds that go in their favor. They get a lead, but when they realize they need to slow down, calm down the pace, play, let their opponents make the first move and react, they're doing it again here. And I think this is going to work out in their favor.
Just getting information, delaying the round. We're already halfway into this round, and really no movement's been made.
Nice shot. That was Clay.
Now they're going to start to push forward. Looks like first guy in is actually going to be Clayster, so he's going to start clearing bedroom, opening it up for Attach. Apparently, he wants the big stick out here as he's going to peek the corner. Enable on the top side of your map, you saw begin to engage, but he has to back down.
What is the setup? Okay. They just gave that area up.
Interesting.
Bomb will be planted in a 4-on-4. Faze just need to hold from half wall. Smoke's now coming into play. Attach loses the first gunfight. LG are trying to storm back onto the B side.
Zuma's tagged up as well. He's probably going to drop, trying to get shot through the smoke. He's taken out. Enable so far from the action, has to rotate over. Everyone's been erased. They retake beautifully. 4 up, 4 down. Luminosity in control.
Faze planted to play from half wall.
They played from no wall as they got 0 kills.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a very bad Call of Duty player.
You're phenomenal, Jack.
I'm extremely below average. I'm the
You
epitome of being below average. But I don't know if I agree with how they played that. That's a round that, looking to seeing where this game goes later on, I would love to hear the analysts' thoughts on what that just was.
Who'd the smoke come from? Because if that was from a Faze player, that smoke hurt them more than anything.
Either way, Attached did just lose that one-on-one, whatever. I just don't get why they double-stacked site and had a player in mansion, and the player who was half-wall forfeited that area. I know he had a sub, but still, it was planted for you. They had to clear you out of half-wall.
Jack Study has as many kills as the entire Faze team.
And that's why Luminosity's up 3-1 in this game. Thankfully, the flinch saving the life of the Faze player.
Don't
there,
re-peek him!
No,
Why would you
don't
re-peek him?
flinch that time. And this is what we talked about last game.
Oh,
I
Lord.
think it was TP or Merc brought it up. Re-peeking Study when he's been this hot. They do it again. Last time it was Zuma to blame. Now it's Clayster. 8-1. The bomb will go down. LG are running away with this game 5.
Here comes the plant. We'll see how they play this. Gonna keep Study highlighted as he's been making play after play, but now a couple dropping. It's gonna be Study and Saints. But you can hold this pretty easily from half wall. He has overdrive if that comes into play at all. Who do I shoot at? There's too many to choose.
He's gonna get flanked.
Oh,
This
God.
nade could be huge.
Here comes the frag. There's the flank comes in. Now it's just Saints. 1v2. He's picked up one. He has to go in. They're on the bomb. Let's check it. Let's take a look. It looks like he's actually hopped off of it. So it's back in. Saints comes flying, and there's the camo. But they trade the kill effectively, and Zuma gonna be able to get the defuse.
You saw how it was developing, and I do appreciate how Saints use that camo. I just don't think he was expecting the final player to still be playing middle map. Obviously gets shot in the back. Another round that I think LG definitely could have won, but some well-used specialists by Faze helped them retake that
And I
site.
feel like the 2-round win that Faze has had is like game saving.
Oh,
Because if they
yeah.
lose the one to go down 3-0, you're like, wow, this is going to be tough. They lose that to go down 4-1, it's going to be brutal as well. They have clutched up in a big way in their 2-round wins.
Technically, after that first kill comes in from Saints, if that player isn't there to trade immediately, that's another 1v1 Faze win. So it's a 1v1 from Attach, and they're the 1v1 to close out the round. Zuma really uses overdrive right away. I mean, this is a gamble. He's gonna go half wall, but it's Clayster watching over.
Clayster, look at our Clay's going off. He's already picked up 2, but now he's going to be tagged up. So despite the fact that he got 2, it turns into Zuma by himself.
Oh my God.
Oh, Clay's got to be so frustrated as he picks up those snipes. Zuma, the first man in with overdrive. I mean, Clay looking over him beautifully, but everything falls apart. What happened?
They wound up forfeiting every bit of pressure middle map, and LG just had a blind counter. They were sending a player half wall, a player up out of mansion, and 2 through mid. Because FaZe wound up getting that first blood, they stopped their push, and LG came from all different angles and just caught him off guard.
All right, well, let's look at the break here.
10-2.
Study,
Oh my
dude, the last
gosh.
2 games statistically are just outrageous. He's, I think, like, what, 38-8 or something over the course past the
You
2
definitely made that
games.
up, but yeah.
Clayster gets another snipe. Can they turn this first blood into a victory?
I like this decision from FaZe. They get that first blood, they fall back to their spawn. They had nobody watching their bunker flank, no one watching mid-map. They could have been very prone to a player flanking through bunker, which we've seen earlier in this map. That could have completely collapsed their setup on defense. Now they've just retaken control. They basically restarted this round, Maven, with a number advantage, up 4-3.
Well, I want to check Clayster's POV. He got tagged up with the EMP, which made it even trickier to try. Don't you dare.
You sound like an upset father.
You do see the cold-blooded Study in the back, and there comes the snipe. He picks it up. 3 streak for Study. So Clayster gets the first blood again, and stuff still seems like it may slip away.
2 versus 3, now at 2v2, as the kill was traded. Attach and Zuma up against Study and Saints, the 2 duos. Going at it, Study doesn't miss a bullet.
Shooting rockets.
1-on-1 again, another swing.
Oh my God, he's gonna run around him. Does he see him behind the rock? I don't think he saw him. He's gonna have Zuma directly behind him. Zuma, does he see him? He knows he's got him. He knows he's got him. He's just gonna play this slow. Play this slow. He should be able to catch him on the bomb. But if he actually checks A first, I think he's gonna check A. He's gonna check A.
Oh no, oh
And
no.
that means I'm over here, buddy. I'm over
0.1
here.
seconds.
And
now
he's out with the overdrive.
And look, Study, you gotta remember what weapon he still has in his back pocket to use whenever. I think he just tried to play mind games. Zuma waiting for it. Study challenges.
Dude, he didn't finish it.
There it is. Study is the best in the world right now, and he knows it.
Study is on another level.
13-2.
And what do you, okay, let's break down how Zuma played that. Like, the problem, once he let him get in the door, he had to guess the site.
He held that angle for 15, 20 seconds, waiting for Study to do exactly that. The second Zuma went to move, Study peeks, and it was just such an awkward engagement, an awkward timing. FaZe again, not able to clutch up that round. You've got Study with another HC. He's 1 kill off a dart, all signs pointing towards Luminosity getting the reverse sweep and taking the series.
See if they can close it out here. You have HCs out for either team. One has managed to push, it looked like Nameless kind of back on the minimap. He had to retreat. Clayster's been the first blood maniac, right? Can he do it again here is the question.
I will say, FaZe came back from a huge deficit, obviously, earlier on in this series. They can do it again. Just be a little bit tougher this time around. Clayster still looking for the first blood, and there it is. But now FaZe need to act on this. Look where they're all stacked up on top of each other. They need to begin to take control of a site, get this bomb planted, and win this offensive round. And they need to stop Study on his streak. That'll be even more important.
Well, they find one more. There comes in the glitch. The play works. Keeps him alive.
Study got another kill. Study got a dart.
A touch does have camo.
Oh my gosh.
It's falling apart. He has to use the camo here. It's now attached by himself, trying to pick up the kills. There's one. Needs a clutch on two. And Luminosity has done it behind a mind-blowing performance from Study.
They get it done after a combined 24-8 performance from Saints and Study. And now, depending on who you ask, that's our first big upset we've seen now on the Outlet stream.
Sure, yeah.
But I will say, Luminosity coming into this event 4-1 in their last 5 league matches. One of the hottest teams in the CWL. And right there, that was just the Study show to win that series from Luminosity.
14-2.
That was insane. He
What
wasn't missing.
more can you do? I mean, you had a total, I think, of 18 kills on the FaZe side.
Yeah.
And Study is 14-2. And they have a second player go to double digits. I mean, I know it was a 6-2 victory, so obviously the signing will be lopsided, but you have 24 kills just between those two guys.
What I want everyone to watch, too, is you talk about hype, what does it do for teams, what does it do for teams? Watch the difference in the FaZe group from the end of game 1 to game 5, and watch Luminosity from game 1 to game 5. It is the opposite ends of the spectrum. Luminosity take the series 3-2.
That was insane. You had so many rounds that came down to 1v1s or a potential 1v2 clutch, 1v3. Everyone, man, coming up big. But the biggest of it all is Study.
Yes.
Just shuts it down
Impressive.
with an MVP performance. If he plays like that all weekend, buddy,
woo. What is this group now?
This group is flipped on its head.
We said it was a group of death. And
this shows it because you have Elevate beat Luminosity pretty easily, I think.
3-1.
And then Luminosity answers back and now beats FaZe.
Yep.
And who knows who's going to come out of the actual open bracket to add to this.
This is just...
This is absolute insanity. We've got an interview ready on the floor. It's Revan with none other than the god himself, Study.
Thanks, guys. That was absolutely amazing, Study. What a series. Of course, we also how it unfolded, but I want to start from the beginning of that series. Obviously, the Hardpoint. Such a crazy match. After you guys lost that, what was the conversation like between the team?
We just played really frantic in the beginning. You know, I dropped 54 kills, but I didn't bring that up at all. You know, I was like, team, just relax, you know, because we're a brand new team. FaZe has been team for a really long time. You know, those little things are going to happen to us right now. But going into that second match, we were just like, yo, everybody relax, you know, play like we play at home and just relax and have fun. That's what I told my team.
All right, so you're down 0-2 going into the uplink. Obviously, you guys complete the reverse sweep. What was really the catalyst for you guys that allowed you to turn that series around?
Basically, going into the Evac Uplink, we played them on the same exact maps previously in the league. So we knew exactly how they were going to play. We knew what we had to pick on, what cost us the first time we played them. So we did that, and obviously we executed that map.
Okay, so you close things out in the uplink. They going into the CTF. You have one of the best CTF games I've seen in all of Black Ops 3. What was going well for you that entire map?
Honestly, it was just my teammates. Like, I understand I was getting all those kills, but my teammates were also pulling the flag. Me getting those kills means absolutely nothing with them not pulling the flag. So my teammates just kept hyping me up. I kept hyping my teammates up. And I didn't pull up the scoreboard a single time once. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew what I had to do at the time. And I don't know, I showed it the scoreboard at the end.
Not once throughout that entire sphere you're looking at it. So then going into the game 5, right? Yeah, obviously all the pressure on you guys, and your sniper was just on point that entire series. And this is something we've started to see more from you recently throughout the league. When did you start practicing with the sniper, and when did you, that was just ungodly. When did that all start happening?
The sniper came back in my hands when Nameless became back on my team. Me and Nameless, we won 50 grand together, and I sniped. So him giving me the confidence, he was sitting there like, Jay, why don't you ever snipe? I'm like, you're right. I have him on my team back. He gives me nothing but confidence. That is my duo. Nameless is my duo, and I love my whole team, and I'm hoping that we get to push this to the end of the fucking weekend.
Well, that was an absolutely amazing series, Studies. Congratulations on that win. But I'm going to go ahead and send it over to the guys on the analysis desk to give us their thoughts on that series.
Well, thank you very much, Revan. Great interview with Study. Guys, so thoughts on the series?
Study.
It says study on all three of their pieces of paper. Absolutely unbelievable performance. You go to the Hardpoint. Yeah, they lost. But guess who dropped massive numbers? Study. Second S&D. Guess who was sniping? As you guys call it, Study is renowned for being very talented with a sniper. You kind of heard him in the interview there saying, Nameless just literally said, why don't you use a sniper rifle? Why don't I? And then game 5. I mean, replays. I mean, you can't be peeking him when he's on that form. I mean, it gets to the point where you said, yes, he's playing well, but it's mistakes coming in from Faze.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do that in the rest of the group stages.
Of course, I mean, when you have someone playing with the sniper that well, I mean, to be fair, Clayster was actually playing pretty well with the sniper back. It's just he wasn't killing Study. He was killing the other players. And that's so devastating. But like I said, you have Study going on these rampages with the sniper, and he's hitting the mid-map. You have to shut him down, but you can't do it by giving him one-on-one peeks. You got to push him out. You got to play teamwork-oriented, and they let Study take over that game by himself.
He completely controlled it. Speaking of Study, we actually have ourselves an Elgato Gaming flashback, some of Study's best moments. And I think, Revan kind of said it himself, that was one of the best CTFs he's ever seen, right? Like, and we're starting a Hardpoint, boys. We got some time. Get the popcorn ready, because he was just on form all series long. He really, really was. And that is honestly, okay. Well, it's crazy. It really is. I mean, we're skipping out some of his best moments for this where he picks up the ace. It's just, to have a player go off like that, and you can see him getting hyped, that's scary for the rest of the group, Mark.
And you just saw how much confidence he was playing with. Like, he had a one-on-one versus Zuma. He popped overdrive. He was like, yep, I'm going to make the smart play wrap this. He was like, nah, I'm going to go away. I'm going to go fight him, Like, that's just how he was feeling that entire day, and that's Study.
CTF was a prime example of that. When he had the flag, he was peaking, which, you're like, why are you so far pushed up with the flag? And he's like, well, I'm just going to get my score streaks.
And I mean, you haven't seen Study in that form in a very long time. It's just, can he keep that up now? Because this team is going to need him, but his team also needs to step up a bit for him. You saw Saints, I think, in Game 5 also had like 10, 11 kills. So that's really good to see Saints playing that well. So it'll be exciting to see how this group finishes out, because they obviously still drop to elevate 3-1.
I guess the question, TV, is can he keep up that pace? I mean, as you said, you played with him before. Can he do it? Is that something we expect to see for the rest of the weekend now?
To have the ability to bounce back, not only did they lose that close hard point, they lost the series right before this match even started. That shows a lot of composure with them, and that was a very reminiscent performance from him, Ghost Champs. He started to light up the scoreboard in S&D almost every single time with that sniper. And, when you talk about that series and you say overkill's in, you expect Attach to put up that scoreline. Study counted it perfectly. You have to block out Attach's strong skill sets, and Study did it to a T. He played that entire series. It's an MVP performance from him. It's going to be tough to beat that throughout the rest of the tournament, and just a great job from him.
Only 2 games in as well, 2 matches in, and already we've seen a performance like that. Crazy stuff. We also have ourselves a nameless Elgato Gaming flashback as well. We got to give him some love, because he really did play very well as well. I mean, here's some of his highlights from that uplink game. He just absolutely shredding through. His positioning was spot on as well.
And Nameless is the type of player where you're just gonna get consistent kills. Like he's gonna have games where he goes off, but like he knows what he has to do. He's such a veteran. Like all these guys, like and they've all matured so well. Like Study, if that interview like 2 years ago, that was probably a little bit different. Giving his teammates props is something old Study probably wouldn't have done. So it's very nice to see how much he's maturing.
And again, bear in mind the energy as well. That's what we kind of talked about. Different players feed off it differently. Nameless and Study, same team. You can see them getting hyped. Like all throughout that Game 5 S&D, Study was thriving on the atmosphere, standing up, pumping up, clutching. I mean, getting aces. Just a phenomenal start to the day. It feels good to be back, guys. It does. Please don't ruin it.
But
you're going to be that guy.
Faze, that slow start at the end of a tournament, something that we talked about. Luckily, it's group stages. They don't drop to a lower bracket or out of the tournament, which would be horrible for them. But they're going to have to bounce back from that very quickly. They have to get, I mean, the first 2 games, they just seemed to be doing so well together. And then just after that, it just all fell apart.
The biggest thing for me is you can't be letting Study get that many kills on his half of the map, right? Yeah. You saw Clay constantly re-peek at that the wall run area at top mansion towards kitchen. And why is that even happening? LG's the one that has to make the play, make Study dash into mansion with his VMP and try and pop a 2-piece. Not give him free snipes. They give up map control so easily, and that's what allows LG to just run rampant in mansion.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was a fantastic series, but we can actually go down now to Revan on the floor with an update of the open bracket. Over to you, Revan.
Thank you very much, guys. I could listen to you all day long, but yes, I have a bit of an update from the floor here on some of the matches that are going on the secondary stream and some off-stream matches. But, you know, like I was saying, of course, some secondary streams, if you guys aren't catching all the action, go out and get another monitor, open up some more tabs. There's Call of Duty action going on all weekend long here at Anaheim. But aside from the one upset we just saw with Luminosity taking out Faze, the higher seeds have really been handling business as usual. Cloud9, they won their first match against TSM. They handled business there 3-1. And then after that, they had to go up against Optic Gaming, and Optic were looking better than ever. Crimsix had a 1v4. Scump was having a huge impact on that series as Optic took out Cloud9 3-0. Over in Pool B, Rise handling business really as expected. They win their match 3-0 against H2K, and after that one, H2K faced off against 100 Thieves. And, you know, the struggles continue over at the 100 Thieves camp as they lose that match 0-3 to H2K. And currently going on off-stream, DT's matching up against Complexity. I'll keep you updated on that series. But that coming up next on the main stage, it's going to be Optic Gaming versus Team Solo Mid. We'll bring you that match after this quick break.